Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here. Saturday Share the Love Club. And guess what, guys? This Share the Love Club is for y'all. Yeah. I had to do it. We've done the owner, we've done the coach, we've done so many of the players. I had to do y'all because this is a big part of the whole organization of everything and stuff like that is the Raptor Freaks. And I want to share love with you guys and all the amazing people that have been a part of this channel over the last year and stuff like that. And that's why I put Joseph Starks and Tom Duke in the picture for this week's Share the Love Club. Saturday Share the Love Club. We took this leadership from Scottie Barnes and from Gary Trent Jr. at the end of the year, talking about how why don't people in this world share more love and positivity and goodness in this world? Why can't we do this more instead of hating and being wrong and jealous and all these other ways? It's like, let's just be who we want to see more in the world of. And this is such a big part of the main pillars of what's important about the Raptor Freak Cult is staying positive about our team, the Toronto Raptors, even when the NBA media says we're not good enough, even when everybody else doesn't think we're coming for more Larry O'Briens. This is what we're doing because we know the truth. We're watching our guys right up close. In fact, two of our great Raptor freaks were real up close with the Raptors last night in Victoria, British Columbia at the open practice charity scrimmage. And I've seen a lot of the highlights and pictures and stuff like that. Tom Duke sending me some great pictures and stuff like that from last night. And I want to see what you guys are saying this morning. And Joseph and Tom, please drop any kind of little bits of observations or knowledge from what you saw last night there in Victoria at that fantastic event. So proud of the community coming out and selling out this event. In fact, a lot of the twit heads like Doug Smith, Michael Grange, Eric Kareen were amazed at the turnout by Victoria, British Columbia for this practice. I mean, we're talking about practice, and they can sell out the building and have such crazy enthusiasm. That scene outside the building where they got off the bus and everybody's waiting for them and cheering for them when they came off, that just smacked the like Beatles stuff. It's like they're the Beatles. They get off the bus and everybody's going, Freddie, Scottie. I love that shit. And Scottie embraced it. Oh my gosh. He came in there and he's like smacking everybody's hands and stuff like that. It's fun to watch the Raptors show up for an event like this because they have their different personalities. You see OG, he's putting the hood way up over his head. He's coming in like this. He's coming in like this. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm coming in. And then meanwhile, his best friend Scottie is coming in. He's trying to give a high five to every single little kid on the way in and just like being so happy and energetic. You saw Scottie eating it up with the crowd interaction last night. Like Josh Lewenberg or somebody on Twitter likened it to him like entering the arena like the Ultimate Warrior would. He ran out and everybody's like, he had like a wrestler's entrance last night, is what they were saying on Twitter. I love that so much. So Joseph Starks is saying here, he was at the game, at the event last night. He said, "Good morning, Alex. It turns out I had floor seats, so I was able to capture a ton of amazing video. I'm deeply saddened to hear about Tom's story again because I was just with him before that." The picture for the stream today is Joseph and Tom taking a picture together at the event. And just after this happened, there's another picture that was taken, Tom took with Scottie Barnes. Yes, the plan came to fruition. Tom showed up. He was in the corner near the court, and he yelled, "Tommy Dookie, Tom Dookie, Tommy Duke," and then he yelled, "Raptor Freak," and Scottie heard him. And he came over to him after he heard him say that and he fist bumped him. And everybody was like, wait, whoa, why does he know this? Why does he know Scottie Barnes? Like the crowd was probably like doing double. Wait a second, why did he come over here and say hi to this dude right now? He didn't know that Tom Duke is Twitch family with Scottie Barnes. And it's all prearranged friendship that's already been building for the summer months this past summer, that we've been talking to Scottie all summer on Twitch, and that he was just happy to come and get a picture with one of his Twitch family. And that just made me so happy to see that picture come through when Tom sent it to me on Facebook last night. I was like, yes, he got it. And Scottie looks really happy in the picture with him. That is one of those kind of mementos and things that you will have for the rest of your life, Tom Duke. a picture of you with Big Four, Scottie Barnes, our rookie of the year, a superstar budding and ready to blossom and become such a huge thing. I know my picture that of me with Fred VanVleet from 2018 is so special to me. I will always have this picture of me and Fred on the corner of Dundas and Kensington for the rest of my life. And oh, man, Tom, I love seeing that picture of you with Scottie. And I love what you said that you were talking to him. And apparently Scottie said to him, Raptors Freak knows a lot about Raptors. That's what Scottie said to Tom. And I love that. I love that Scottie is still recognizing that I am out there with this brain and keeping track of everything with the Raptors and stuff like that. And it's all pure love and all for the positive building up of this team and their winning and their success is why I'm doing this. Oh my gosh, such a dream night for Tom Duke and Joseph Starks to be there with the team and see them up close and get to have so much fun at that event last night. So good, so good. I got a lot of news and notes about what happened, just in case people didn't keep up with what happened at the game and stuff like that. So yeah, that I was explaining it to Logical what happened last night in this next little part. And then everything's all right. All right, Cool Cat's here. Good morning, all. What happened to Tom? Well, I kind of just explained it. Things went really good. He had an awesome time. He did get to meet up with Scottie and get a picture taken with him. I'll use it for a thumbnail of another stream in the future. So you'll see that picture of Tom with Scottie Barnes at some point on some sort of stream for a subject later. I just wanted, because today is about y'all. Cool Cat, you're one of them too. I am so appreciative of you because I met you kind of on Scottie's Twitch, and then kind of like you came and started checking me out here and there. And I just really appreciate that you've enjoyed our community here also, and that you're a part of it and stuff like that you're playing in our fantasy league. And, you know, you're here in town. Who knows? You'll show up at the game. Maybe we'll all get together and hang out at the game also. This is a celebration of us, our community, what we've been building here for the last year and continuing strong going forward, hopefully recruiting more people and just making us more of a presence in the Raptors fan base. As far as we are ones that are real, we're homers. Sure, call us a homer. Sure, call us pie in the sky, crazy purple Kool-Aid people. But we believe in the Raptors winning championships, and we really do think it's a realistic and possible thing this year, right now, and we're going for it. And oh man, I just love what happened last night. All right, let's see what Tom Duke is saying. Good morning. Joseph is fantastic. And it was a W, just meeting another Raptor freak. This is awesome. Tom Duke, you really are holding it down right on the West Coast by linking up with Shane Waters this summer and hanging out and having a good time with him. And now you met Joseph Starks and you guys are linked up together too. I hope seriously that these kind of connections really help in some sort of ways. Who knows? We could meet other Raptor freaks that are in different areas of things in life. And it could be a very fruitful, awesome connection in different ways. You know, I've been noticing studies sociologists are doing these days about how just disconnected we're getting, partly because of the pandemic phenomena in the last couple years, that we are all forced to stay home and stay away from each other, and that it's really kind of been detrimental to our social health as far as keeping in contact and connected with each other. And that I love that this channel is becoming something for us to get outside of our normal friend group and meet new people and stuff like this. So I'm really, really happy that Tom and Joseph met up last night. And I hope you guys stay in contact. And, you know, if you guys do things together during the season to watch games or whatever you guys decide to do, this is fantastic. I just love the meeting up, everybody, just like we did here in Toronto with the people at the meet and greet and hopefully for games and stuff like that. This is so awesome, building community when we've been all kind of taken away from each other because of a pandemic and stuff like that. So awesome. Woohoo, Tom Duke. Woohoo. You are winning, brother. You are winning today. You are such a winner with this. Joseph Stark, same thing. You guys going to that game. And I love hearing that Joseph had floor seats and that he was right real close to the court. I'm really excited and interested to hear any of the like interesting little tidbits of information that you guys have about last night. Otherwise, I will just go off of what I have observed from over here through the social media, the pictures, the tweets, and the Raptors account on Instagram and stuff like that, what happened last night. Now, not everybody played yesterday. The vets, in fact, did not play. And I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I know they're saying that Otto Porter had an MRI from an injury this week in practice, but I think it's a very precautionary thing. And in some ways, I think they held them out just on like, injuries. Now, Kem for sure. We know that he's still recovering from his meniscus surgery, and that's why he didn't play yesterday. But Thad and Otto, I don't know how hurt Otto is. They're going to say he's hurt for a little bit. Maybe he is hurt a little bit, but I don't think he's that hurt. And I'll bet you Thad isn't hurt at all. That these guys really just took the game off to give the young guys more space. Hang on. So I wouldn't read into either of those injuries with Porter or Thad. They're like paper injuries. Let's just call them that. They're on paper injuries because there's going to be a lot of that. There is already a lot of that in the NBA where they're not real injuries. People are just held out of games. They're on paper injuries. Well, maybe we'll call them that because I don't think Thad's that hurt. And I don't know. Otto could be a little hurt, but it's not going to be anything serious where it's going to be probably a problem at the beginning of the season. Like, I think this is something that he'll clear up in like a week or so, and then he'll be fine. So, and then Kem's just on path to continue to get better and better from surgery. Now, the one thing that did happen last night, I heard, is that Precious cracked Christian in the face at one point during the scrimmage, and Christian got a bloody nose, and he had to go to the back in the middle of the game with a little bit of a nosebleed from Precious, giving him a little bit of an arm when they're both going up for a rebound. That's normal stuff. Precious hurt Chris Boucher last year in training camp also, bent his finger back in a certain way. And this is stuff like Precious is raw, Precious is real. This is stuff that just happens. He could be a little dangerous out there. He's a big man that's very strong and very quick. So, it's stuff like that. But that's all I hear about the injuries and stuff like that. That's fine. It's like hardly anything. So I think we're going to be fine and everything like that as far as things. All right, let's see what Cool Cat's saying at Logical. Good morning at Logical Raptors Fanatic. I set my alarm clock to wake up early for this session. Awesome, Cool Cat. Well, hopefully, if you need to go back to sleep after this or something like that, I appreciate that. That's actually a huge compliment because I'm not a morning person myself, but I am more as I'm getting older. And this just seemed like a good time for me to do this show just because it's first thing in the morning, it's regular, and it's kind of like a morning talk show that you listen to on the radio and get kind of like your morning news from like NPR or something like that. This is like Raptors NPR. Raptors NPR. I'll get little music and I'll stop cussing and maybe I'll get like a fake British accent for a little bit and stuff like that. We can do fake Raptors NPR on here. I don't know, just riffing some silliness. All right, let's see. We want the scoop on last night. Yeah. And so does Logical Raptors Fanatic. Check out Logical Raptors Fanatic's YouTube channel. Such a great channel. Fantastic channel. Shane Waters is here. Great pick, Tom and Joseph. Way to represent the Raptor Freaks. Tom certainly put a big smile on my face when he sent me the pick of SB4. Tom is always spreading the love. He deserved this. He totally deserved this. And Scottie realized it too. I mean, I don't know how much money Scottie's made off of Tom this summer. I'm just kidding. But like from the gifting the subs and stuff like that. Tom and Scottie do have a relationship on the stream, much like Scottie has a relationship with me. We are a little bit more like pronounced in the stream just because we're there and talking all the time and we're always there. And Tom, being such a gifter and so giving in Scottie's stream, has really got Scottie's heart. That Scottie sees somebody who's like him. He's like a giver. He's somebody who's like looking out. Like somebody who's complaining they don't have a sub and they want to get a sub. And Tom's there sometimes. He's just like, here you go, kid. Here you go. Here's a sub. And then Tom's like a hero in the stream. This is really kind of real Raptor Freak kind of positive behavior. That Tommy sees people that are in need on the Twitch stream, and he's so generous, and Scottie recognizes that, and that's why he wanted to reward him and recognize him in person at the open gym practice last night, the open practice last night. That is so fantastic, and you're right, Shane, he really did deserve it, and it's such a beautiful picture because Scottie can be like kind of like, you can tell when he's kind of annoyed, but he's genuinely happy in the picture with Tom. You can tell He had a really good time last night. I mean, you could see some of the highlights from last night. Scottie's running around the arena, like high-fiving every single person around the side and stuff like that. He had little kids chasing him, running with him as he was doing it. I think he was just eating that up. It may be that Scottie has very defined lines between like his private and his public life. Sure, don't come up to him when he's on his own time in his private life, when he's got the dog and he's just living his life and stuff like that. Unless your kids, like Race Mode and his kids came up to him, that was fine because they were little kids and that's a nice interaction. But if you're just an adult or somebody who's like, if I saw him on the street, I'd say, hey, Scottie, Raptor Freak, and I would say, if you want to come talk to me, then that's fine. But otherwise, I'm leaving him alone. I won't be pestering him. I won't be asking him for anything. I'll just say, hey, Scottie, how's it going? I'll say, oh, I'm the Raptors freak, by the way. And if he stops and he says, oh, and then he wants to come over and talk to me, then I'll talk to him. But otherwise, we shouldn't annoy him on his own time. But when he's at events, when he's at games and things like last night, he is all about being up close and being up with everybody, signing things, taking pictures, and all this kind of stuff. It's just that these athletes, they want a line between their private life and their public life. And there's appropriate places to do things like get pictures and autographs and stuff like that. Not in the men's bathroom at a restaurant, stuff like that, stuff like that. Salute Tom Duke. Yes, salute Tom Duke. One of the original Raptor freaks from the start of this channel. And just over the year, Tom, you have been such an MVP on this station. And I really, really do appreciate you, brother. I really, really do. But everybody, you guys are so awesome. That's why we're doing this Share the Love Club. Because listen, it's weird because you guys teach me even more positivity and generosity and love. Tom is like a role model to me because I see what Tom's doing in there and I'm like, man, Tom is so giving and generous and has such a big heart. I want to be more like Tom. It's that kind of stuff that's happening. It's like what Monique is somebody who's amazing. She has such a brilliant basketball mind and somebody that I've admired for many years now. And that I just love that now at this point, we have this community for all of us, for her to be with us too and be involved with us and talking and all this stuff. This is special. And this is awesome because this wasn't exactly here before this channel. In some ways, meeting the Saborans, meeting Bradley, Raymond Jacob, Evelyn, everybody at the meet and greet, it just made me realize everybody that comes to this channel, we're all from different places, different walks of life, and different kind of people, but we share a certain passion, a very specific passion for the Toronto Raptors. And that really does make us fast friends and bonds us very quickly. And I love that. I love that. This is an all for one for all kind of thing, just like the Raptors team. And that having us so many different people from all over the world. We had in the beginning, Darren was in Jakarta and he was watching our channel all the time. I don't know where Darren went, but maybe Darren will come back at some point. And he was in Jakarta. That's 12 hours difference from where I'm sitting right now. And it was always so crazy for me to think that there's somebody on the exact opposite side of the earth that's watching me right now. That's crazy. We had people in Zimbabwe watching us last year, people in Africa, people in Australia, people in other continents watching this channel. So this is really a global family, the Raptor Freak Cult, that we have members in all kinds of crazy places that maybe people might be a little like surprised to hear. But I just love that connection was made last night, that Joseph and Tom hooked up. And they got to hang out face to face and say, this is the face and the body and the energy behind the name and the words in the chat and stuff like that. That's what we're doing here. We're community building among positive Raptor fans. And oh man, I'm just so beaming and happy about the things, the turns of events that are coming from different things from this channel and stuff. I couldn't have even seen it. In fact, I thought I would be very similar to Logical Raptors Fanatic. That my content would be very like short and just me talking real quick and be like the normal YouTube channels. Well, at some point last year when I first started, I noticed you guys were in here talking to me all of a sudden because I didn't know I was doing live streams. I thought I was just recording my things and I would do them live because I wasn't going to go back and edit them or anything. I was like, I'll just do them live and put them up right away. Well, I noticed there was a interaction in the chat, in the comments, and I started interacting with it and I was like, whoa. Wait a second, this is something here. And this is really how this evolved into being a live stream channel instead of a content channel. is that you guys showed up and you opened my eyes to that possibility. I did not come into this thinking that this is the style of channel that we would do. It really was going to be very much the normal YouTube content channel where you make the thing and you post it. Stuff like what Greg's doing on Jubs Down Clink and also Logical Raptors fans. So I really appreciate that this is a two-way street and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that I'm lazy, but this does make it easier because, like I said, Monique is coming in here and giving me cue cards on topics that I may have forgot for the day and stuff. And G's always got such a great observation that I forgot about. And he comes in and he lays it down for me and stuff. Like different people come in. Kareem Thomas comes in with an amazing joke and just makes me light up because it's hilarious. He's got such a great sense of humor and his great basketball knowledge mixed together. It's like each one of you guys has something really cool about you. We had Rahul last season, and we were playing like he was in the GM office because he always had such good ideas about deals and things that we're trying to do. Giovanni was the money guy, always talking about the money. Sue's talking about Fred playing too much and how we need to cut back his minutes and stuff like that. There's been so many different stories of each of you individually. Because this is the thing, I don't look at you guys as all just one big massive thing. You guys are each individuals and you have each of your stories and something interesting about you that you add to this channel. And I love it. I love it. Evelyn talking about baby Candace and her travels and all the different things and stuff like that. It's just, I really appreciate all y'all and love every single one of you. I really, really do. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying here. So Logical saluting Tom Duke. Tom Duke says, SB talking about the Raptor Freak. Your boy knows a lot. He's locked in. That's a direct quote from Tom Duke from Scottie Barnes last night. He said to Tom, he said, your boy Raptor Freak knows a lot. He's locked in. Yes. Scottie is appreciating and recognizing what's going on up here. The old head. The old head in effect and stuff like that. I love that. I love that. This is so amazing. Let's see inside info. Let's hear what's happening here. Let's see what else. Okay, so Tom Duke's saying he and OG were inseparable in the warm-up. So Scottie, the bromance with OG and Scottie is so strong. They may be entering in two different styles. It was like kind of like it looked like OG was using Pascal as a blocker. Pascal is wearing like a red hoodie. He looked really flashy when he came out. He got a huge pop when he came off the bus. And then OG came out right after him. He's kind of like hiding. He's got his hood up and he's kind of like, I don't want to be like anybody. And then Scottie comes out right after them and he's just like high-fiving like a wrestler coming in and stuff like that. Well, when they get into the gym, they're over in the corner taking a lot of corner threes and stuff. And Scottie did talk about OG a lot yesterday. There was a pre-interview after their practice in the morning, and they asked him, who do you want to pattern your shot after? And he said, well, of course, everybody wants to shoot like Steph. Steph's so good and stuff like that. And they're like, but like, name somebody else. And he said, well, OG. I want to shoot like OG. That's actually not a bad answer. And that's a really good person to pattern yourself after because OG has such a duplicated jump shot at this point. Like it looks so perfect, the form, that it just goes in. That's why he says, I don't shoot to miss. And because really he's figured it out where it's very precise. I've actually described his shot as a laser in the last season because it's not like one of these shots where you think it's going to hit the rim and kind of go around and go in or hit the backboard and go in. It is straight through the hoop and through the net. And it's very duplicated. That's the thing about it. And that's what makes it attractive to Scottie to try and do it, like be as similar to him. Maybe also because they have similar body types in some ways, that as a taller guy and a big guy, you get some of the same mechanics and the same mannerisms with his body as OG on his shot. That probably will help him. And it's great to have that resource right next to you. So you could actually literally watch him take the shots and try and mimic him. Practice. Perfect. Beautiful. And I love hearing that. The bromance, the OG Scottie friendship, inseparable in the shoot around before the game. This is the inside stuff from Tom. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying, I was so happy. Hang on. All right. I'm going to get every comment, Joseph and Tom. So you just fill in any like moment or thing you remember, just write it in, even if you're way ahead. I will get to them. You know I will. You know I always do. All right, let's see what Cool Cat's saying. Wow. All right. We're getting a good showing this morning, and I love this. Cool Cat is saying, uh, awesome. Twitch family hooked up. Love it. Yes, I was so happy for fans to see Canada's NBA team once again. And Scottie got to see the fans and experience all the love from the entire country. Tom Duke is official. Yes, he is. Verified blue check next to Tom Duke's name. All right, Cool Cat. This is a huge deal because they really don't get to see them that often out there. I mean, this really is a like every couple years kind of thing. So this is very important that the Raptors show up and bring that energy, what stuff like what Scottie was doing. Because some of those young fans that were at Victoria game last night, they'll remember this for the rest of their life. And there will be big time Raptor fans, even out on the West Coast, even though they may not be able to go to games very often or anything. They will remember this and carry this over. They got to high five Scottie Barnes and that he was there and he was so much fun. And I got to see him do a reverse spin around windmill jam, stuff like that. They'll remember this for the rest of their life. And this is really why they do this is they want to get fans in other Canadian cities and grow the Raptors fan base as big as possible across the whole country. Like if you look at how sold out that building was last night. I think they say it only holds like 6,000 people, and there were 7,000 people in it apparently. The stuff that I'm hearing about Edmonton and how hard it is to get a ticket for Sunday is absolutely outstanding and amazing. That it's like really sold out. And this is what I'm saying, that there's an interest and a love for the Raptors across this country. There may not be everybody in every community loves them. There may be people that say, I hate the Raptors, but there's definitely people that love the Raptors across this whole entire country and every single town and city. It doesn't matter which province or territory. There are Raptor fans out there. And they're coming out in full effect in places that don't normally get to see them. And I love that. This is a goodwill tour for the Raptors to get these fan bases even stronger and bigger and tangibly see them and get to interact with them like they did last night. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, Tom Duke saying Scottie Barnes totally was getting the crowd fired up. So he heard me and smiled. And he turned around and started pointing at me and kept pointing as he walked over and then fist bump. Yes. So he listened on Sunday. We said this to him. I said, he's going to be in the corner, Scottie. So look for Tommy. And he said, all right, you tell me, you yell out and I'll come over there. Man of his word. He heard the words and he zoned in. He figured out where it was. Kept pointing at him, pointing, and then bam. Oh my gosh, Tom, you probably felt like the coolest kid in the gym in that moment. He zeroed you out and walked over to you. I know he was saying that people next to him were in like, whoa, why does he know Scottie? Why does he know Scottie? Twitch family was in effect. And that was so beautiful. So beautiful to hear that, Tom. What a great moment. This is like, seriously, this is one of those moments in your life, like top 10 moments. Seriously, I know some people think you're crazy. What? That's one of your top 10 moments in your life? Well, meeting Fred VanVleet is up there on my list for sure. So it's like, if you're a huge Raptors fan and you just got to fist bump Scottie Barnes, that is insane. That is amazing. And I love that so much, man. And he's saying, because listen, no, Tom, listen, I don't know. Maybe this wouldn't have happened if we hadn't gotten on here and done the whole Twitch summer and stuff like that with him. I don't know. But listen, you got that to happen. That's all that matters and stuff like that. I'm so proud of you guys going to that game, Joseph and Tom, and having such a good time. Yeah, you want to see the pick. I have the pick. I just was going to use it for another stream, and I really want to put Joseph up there with Tom on this stream for this one. It's more important to get the Raptorfreak Cult represented here and stuff like that. But we'll show the pick at some point. You will see it. Kareem's saying, oh, I love that he changed his name, Harry Canary. Harry Canary Thomas. All right, which one is Tom and which one is Joseph? Joseph, I believe, is on the left, and Tom is on the right. So Joseph Stark's in the Yankees hat, and Tom Duke in the Raptors jersey. That is who that is. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, Raptorfreak, a Twitch OG for real. Scottie knows his Twitch family. This is the thing. He's going to recognize us and stuff like that. Like Cool Cat, you could probably, you're pretty prominent on that channel too. And you're always asking him different questions, stuff. You like to ask him about Cardi and stuff. He probably notices. Like I'm telling you, he's like a really perceptive computer in his head. He's taking in so much information at all times on the basketball court when he's playing that he can like process all this so quickly. He probably does remember a lot of the names on his Twitch that are just regulars. I mean, we've distinguished ourselves in certain ways. Me just from being like always there and a know-it-all, and Tom just from being so generous. But I'm sure he'd remember your name too in some ways too. Like I don't know, it would be harder for us in Toronto to get up close to them and like talk to them than it is at the open practice. I don't like to hound them when they're here. Like I don't go down there near the entrance like some people and try and get their stuff signed and yell at them, stuff like that. That's the best way to get them here. But I like it more organic. Like if it's a meet and greet, or the way that I met Fred or Yaka Pirtle was just on the street. Like they were just walking by my house because I lived in a high tourist area and I saw them. I was just sitting in my house. It was so random. And there's Fred Van Vliet standing by my house. And I just like, hey, nobody knew who he was because it was dark and he's short. And I recognized him right away. And I just walked up to him casually from my porch and say, hey, Fred, big fan. And got to talk to him for like 5 minutes and got a picture with him. And it was amazing. He was so nice, so nice. But I didn't overdo it. Like I didn't bother him for too long. He was waiting around. He had time to kill. So it wasn't like I was really interfering or anything like that. But what an amazing experience it is to meet some of your favorite players in the NBA, especially some of the best Raptors ever. Oh my gosh. All right. Nameless is here. Morning, ladies. Morning, Nameless. Morning. Speaking of ladies or women, the Canadian women's basketball team played their bronze medal game against Australia and they lost. They got fourth in the tournament. It's too bad. And I don't like it. It's just too bad. It sucks, but it is what it is. It was a great learning experience. And they did the best they've done in one of these tournaments in years and years. I think since 1986, they hadn't finished this high up. It's unfortunate they didn't medal, but it's a very successful tournament and stuff that went down over in Australia this past week for the Canadian women's basketball team. I think that they did great, Alexi, and I'm very proud of Canada's women's team. All right, Justin Bieber. Well, thanks for being here, Justin Bieber. But we're having a Saturday Share the Love Club for the Raptorfreak Cult right now, and we're busy. Well, thank you, but you're still my son. All right, goodbye. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's too bad. It is what it is. All right. Monique saying, good morning. Glad Tom and Joseph so happy to see. Yes, Monique. Isn't this so awesome? Tom got to meet Scottie Barnes last night. So happy about this. Kareem, Joseph, Tom left. Kareem. Yeah, that's okay. You're just answering that question. Leslie saying, hello, everyone. Let's see. Logical Raptors fanatic saying, everybody feeling good. Feels good. Yeah. I hope everything's all right. Let's see. Leslie saying, I hope to meet you guys one day. For sure, Leslie. I mean, we'll do another meet and greet next year before the season, but also we're going to be trying to go into games and stuff like that. I don't know where you live right now, Leslie, but if you're in the Toronto area, we will be trying to go to games together. In fact, we're going a week from tomorrow to the Chicago Bulls preseason game. A lot of us have tickets to it, and we're going to try and meet up in the building before the game and maybe have a little get together before the game and stuff like that. So Cool Cat saying, I live in Toronto, have tickets for preseason, other regular games. So happy to find my Raptors community here on Raptor Freak Family and Twitch. That's right, Cool Cat. This is what this is. We are a family now. We're a positive fan base for the Raptors team, and we are a family because we're like-minded and we are just trying to build this. You know, there's so many cynics. There's so many pessimists, so many people that are negative about the Raptors for no reason. Why? We have a great team. What are you upset about? Why are you so down on them? Especially when we're about to start a new season. Anybody who's pessimistic about the Raptors' chances this year, you're crazy. You must just be a professional curmudgeon. You must be somebody that is just always like upset. Like you could win the lottery and be like, oh, now I'm going to have to pay all these extra taxes. You know, you're that kind of person. Why would you be like that right now? This is an amazing age in the franchise of the Toronto Raptors. They thought we were dead because we had to go to Tampa and we lost Kawhi. We're not dead. No, we ain't. No, we aren't. We're coming. We're coming this season. NBA, hello. I love it. Tom Duke's saying he actually sat down. Holy crap. Scottie actually sat down with Tom and for a quick chat and then asked for the picture. And you asked for the picture and he obliged. And my smile says it all in the pic. Everyone was like, how does he get to do that? Well, you got to be Twitch family. That's what it's got to be right there. You got to be in Scottie Barnes Twitch family, and you have to be having your notifications on your email set up so you can go and jump in there with him at the craziest times all summer long. The bat signal went up, and Tom Duke and I would answer the bat signal more often than not. We would be in there, and we would be watching and hanging with Scottie. I'm telling you, if I counted all the hours I spent this past summer watching Scottie play video games on Twitch, it's going to have to be about 150 to 200 hours of my life. And I wouldn't change any of it. Some people went to the cottage. Some people went to the islands, went to Mexico, went to Florida. They went on vacation. Nope, not me. I went on Camp Scottie Barnes Twitch. And I spent a lot of time there, and I learned a lot at that camp. And membership has its privileges, as Tom Duke has found out last night. Yeah. Tom, you probably did feel like the belle of the ball kind of thing. It was like everybody's like, whoa, why does he know him? He must know him somehow. How does he know him? All these people around him saying stuff like that. Nameless is saying, bro, Tom Duke is an honorary Torontonian. Listen, I don't, Raptor fans that are in other places, sure, you can be honorary Torontonians, but be proud Victorian Raptor freaks in whatever city you're in. Sure, you come here, we will knight you honorary Torontonians for sure. But be proud of where you're from also. And this is what the way Raptors Nation is. We can have Raptor fans in every single corner of the globe. It could be NBA markets in the US. It can be any corner of the United States, anywhere. And you guys are all honorary Torontonians if you're positive Raptor freaks in my book and stuff like that. For sure, Nameless. Raymond Jacobs saying, laugh out loud. I thought it was a random thumbnail. Didn't know it was our boys, Tom and Joseph. That's right, Raymond Jacob. That's them. That's right. You've been in the thumbnail for the Twitch chat or the chat here also from the meet and greet and stuff like that. I'm trying to put y'all on blast too. I'm telling you right now, all you go. Monique, Evelyn, Bradley, the Saborans, Tom Duke, Joseph Starks, everybody. If I meet up with you and we get a picture taken, we're getting the faces to match the names for sure. All right, let's see. Logical Raptors fanatic saying, I haven't played pool in a couple years now. Feels bad, man. Played pool, billiards, man. Get back on that horse. It's a fun game. You're talking about social activities you used to do, but the pandemic took it away. Well, maybe you can go reclaim that. Go to your old favorite pool hall and see if it's still running and stuff like that. Raymond saying, Tom, where can we see more pics and vids? Yes, family. I don't know if he wants to put the links in here or share them somewhere. I can put some more in the comments afterwards. He did send me some more stuff, and I can put it all in there so you guys can see this stuff. Yeah. Kareem saying, anyone here from Saga? I know that Fun Guy's in Saga. I know that Greg, Jubstown Clink, is not far from Saga. So, yeah, we do have some West Side Raptor freaks out in the Saga. And, you saw that Scottie said this week, Kareem, that he claims if he's from Toronto, he's from Mississauga. He claims that as his borough. It's like Kayla Gray was trying to say, you're from Scarborough, obviously, because of your accent and the things you're saying. And Scottie said, no, I'm a Mississauga man. So Scottie Barnes claims Mississauga as his home. But that's because of Caleb Houston, because he's from Mississauga, and that's one of his best friends from high school and stuff like that. So let's see. Tom Duke saying small arenas, so there is not a bad seating. Starting five was on fire. This is what I heard, that they had the teams broke up by starters in black jerseys. And then they had like the bench reserves team in gray jerseys. And it was our starting five pretty much against like Delano, Malachi, Wancho, Christian, and I want to say the other person who started was Chris Boucher. Something like that. And then it was like Fred, Gary, OG, Pascal, and Scottie on the other side. And apparently they were all on fire. Gary Trent was hitting a lot of threes. Pascal looked like a machine. Like, that's what I'm hearing, that he was hitting everything. Like in the pre-shoot around, he didn't miss. Like, some people were watching. There's a couple of videos of Pascal in the pre-shoot around where he's just bombing corner threes and just not missing. Scottie was a little quiet from what they were saying, that out of the starting five, he didn't score a whole lot. He had a couple of nice dunks, a couple of nice little things he did. But in the game, in the scrimmage game, he wasn't as overpowering. He was really letting the other guys do their thing. OG looked really, really good. In fact, right from the beginning of the scrimmage game, he was scoring a majority of the points in the first quarter. But it was very much the Fred, Gary, OG, and Pascal show as far as like them scoring at will. And that was all in the first half. They didn't play in the second half, apparently. They really let the reserves on both sides kind of run the game afterwards and stuff like that. So there was a rest done. You got your little taste of the starters and stuff like that. Didn't see any Otto or Thad, none of the vets, but then the youthful guys got out there. And so I forget who it is. I think it was either Grange or Lewinberg or somebody on Twitter saying that from their eyes, if they had to judge who did the best from different levels in the Raptors team, they would say that Pascal was absolutely the best starter, kind of main core player. That Chris Boucher was kind of the middle rotation, kind of like best star from that area. And then from the bench battle to get on the team, the training camp battle, Justin Champagny was the guy that kind of stood out from that. Those guys were like DJ Wilson and Josh Jackson and stuff like that. So that was some observations I'm reading, but everything I'm going to hear from these guys on here, I'll believe over the twit heads and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Cowboys here. Good morning, Raptor freaks. Let's go. Ta-da. Ta-da. For your carpet cleaning needs, for your around the house needs, call the brothers Ta-da in the 416. They will come by and hook you up with some help on whatever you need done around your house and stuff like that. That's what they're doing. Isaac Campbell's here. Nice. Isaac loves hearing about this great story with Tom Duke and Joseph Starks at the open practice last night. Amazing, good stuff. Precious and Coloco battle. I love it. Yeah, Cowboy. Yeah, it's just how it is. Hello, welcome to the league. Hello. There's a little bit of physicality and stuff like that. Get ready for this, Christian. At least it comes from a place of love, from a teammate and this stuff. Precious is a little wild and a little raw, can be a little dangerous. Let's just put it that way. Leslie saying the Raptor fam is awesome. We love you, Leslie Hart. You are a part of the Raptor Freak family, and I'm so happy when I see your name in the chat when you're here. And you're here quite often, and I really, really appreciate you as one of the regulars and stuff like that. I mean, this is another thing I want to say about this community is that, you know, a lot of sports community, and we're seeing this right now on ESPN, the way that they're gatekeeping and handling this Malika Andrews situation for her speaking out towards Stephen A. Smith, that in some ways sports spaces are not very healthy or conducive or welcoming to, women. And I think that this is really important part of our channel is that, like, listen, there's a lot of spaces around sports and athletics that are very predominantly male. And I love that in this channel, we have a very, very, like, it seems almost 50-50 half the time, that there are a lot of strong, opinionated women that are a part of our Raptor Freak chat and channel, and that this is not a factor in things like it is in a lot of sports areas around sports. You know, you can go, maybe you go to the Celtics Freak channel, the equivalent of this, and there's a little bit of like misogynist kind of behavior and kind of like, yeah, what do you know? You know, so like, it's not like that here. And I really appreciate that. And I think that that's important because if we're going to be leaders and talk about positivity and stuff, like, we have to be absolutely inclusive. And for too long, sports spaces have been not very welcome places for women in different ways. And that's why we're trying to change. It's part of what we're doing here and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you being here, Leslie. And I really, really do. All of you. Monique, next on the chat here. Nick Nurse on another team in Canada. Thoughts? Oh, yeah. There was a little bit of an interview yesterday with Nick Nurse where he was saying that it would really be nice if there was another NBA franchise being run in Canada right now. And he's specifically saying this out in British Columbia. They love to hear that. Because there is actually a very strong movement of people that want to get something like the Grizzlies back there. I'd love for that to happen. But in some ways, I think it's Montreal's turn to really try and get it. It'd be great if we could get 4 Canadian teams down the road and really make it something so that it's not so weird that the Raptors are in the NBA, that there's a bunch of NBA teams that are in Canada all of a sudden, and that it's more normalized and not so weird. So you know what? Listen, I think he's right. For balance in the league, we should have 2 Canadian teams. That's what they intended to do in the beginning, Vancouver and Toronto. Well, it didn't work out in Vancouver. So maybe we can write it again and try again because there is a huge market in Canada that the Raptors have a monopoly over right now. And that it could change things if there's all of a sudden a team back in British Columbia or Montreal. I love that Nick wants that, and he thinks it is a very smart idea for the NBA. I agree with him and stuff like that. And it's good that they talked about it and stuff like that. Let's see. Logical Raptors fanatic. Respect for the shout out. Always, man. Always. You got something coming out tomorrow? All right, man. Sunday seems to be one of your drop days, and I'll be looking forward to Logical Raptors fanatic content on his channel, his YouTube channel. Coming out on Sundays. I want to see what he's going to be talking about tomorrow. Cool Cat saying, yeah, subscribe to Raptors Fanatic YouTube as well. Awesome. That's what I'm saying. Go subscribe to Jubstown Clink. Subscribe to Confederacy of Dunks. Subscribe to Logical Raptors Fanatic. There's a lot of good Raptors content makers out there, and we want to celebrate them. We're family. This isn't a competition. I'm like, I see Greg's trying to go for 1,000 subscriptions. He's got this contest and stuff like that. I hope he gets there, because if he gets there, maybe some of his people will come and enjoy and subscribe mine too. So he builds, it helps me build too. So we're all helping each other. And I really look at it that way. It's very much the way the Raptors look at their team play among each other. Be selfless and help each other, and we all rise together. It's the same thing. All right, let's see. Tom Duke saying, I paid my dues. He really did come through for me. Well, you literally paid some money, but Tom, this isn't exactly why. It isn't exactly that. It's the generosity. It's the heart. It's the things like, talking about Toto and bringing up your dog that, you bonded with Scottie about being dog owners and stuff like that. He can see that you really cared about your dog and how like he cares about Cardi and stuff like that. You have something in common. So that has to do with it too. Scottie really wants to find humanity and family with us and feelings of connectedness. And I think that's a huge part of why he reaches out and does the stuff he does on Twitch, is that he wants connection with the fans in a way that he can control in a certain degree. And that's really smart and brilliant. And it's amazing that we live in this time and age where this can happen. I'm serious. As being a middle-aged guy in my late 40s, the fact that I can talk to the Rookie of the Year directly at this point in some ways is absolutely crazy. I know I keep saying this, and I want to pinch myself because I can't believe that Scottie Barnes actually knows I exist on this planet. It's so insane. It's crazy. All right, let's see. Monique's also saying Rachel Nichols is back. Yeah, it's good to hear. I know that she, when she got fired, it was a little weird. And I don't know. I don't know how to dissect that whole situation that happened. Sure, she did do something wrong, but maybe it was a little overkill. But yeah, I'm happy to hear that she's getting on with Showtime and being a part of their programming this season coming up. She is a great journalist, and I've always enjoyed her. I've thought that she's been very good and stuff like that. So this is good news. This is very good news. Tom Duke said, I did not give him any gift for the dog. I was too chicken of being over the top. Tom, I'm going to tell you a story real quick. When I was in the 4th grade, I had a big crush on this girl named Sarah Fenstermaker. And she was red-haired, and she was very cute. And I really thought that she liked me because I didn't know how to read situations and stuff like that. Well, I went and got her a gift. I got a little teddy bear, and I wanted to give it to her as a gift. And I took it to her house over Christmas break and left it on her front doorstep with a note telling her my love. And well, she got the gift and she didn't really appreciate it. And I got really humiliated at school. Yeah, by all the girls in my class. In fact, it was traumatizing for me. I still have some scars from this because I was so young and it really wasn't a smart idea. And when you started talking about what you wanted to do, it started making me think about that trauma from when I was 4th grade. And I was like, I don't want Tom to get rejected or have something weird, and like I was messaging with Tom afterwards about this plan to do this. And I was saying, Tom, I don't know if this is a good idea to give him a dog toy at the game. It may be a little weird for him to get a toy from us. Where you and I are around the same age. And he's 21 years old. And the optics of this is like, this man just gave him a dog toy and a Fred VanVleet jersey. It just didn't seem right. And I was like, I didn't want you to ruin a great moment by making it really awkward, because it could have been very awkward. It could have, because I think I've actually heard them say, I'm not sure who said it. It may have been Scottie or it may have been other people, but they don't like getting gifts like that, I don't think. in certain ways, unless they're very specific, like special gifts that they will be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got me this. But if it's just kind of like a random thing that you just got that has no personal sentimental meaning to them, then it may be kind of like, yeah, I don't want this crap. I could go to the store and buy a dog toy for my dog anytime or something like that. And that I was really thinking about it more. It's like, don't do this, Tom, because I want you to come off as really cool and not have any problems with awkwardness or anything like that. So that was kind of why I was, pleading with you not to do it. And I think that it was the right decision. You got it exactly how it was supposed to happen and stuff like that. That's so awesome. Stuff like that. It wasn't being chicken. It was thinking about the situation, analyzing it, and thinking better of possibly, stepping in it. I don't even know what the dog toy was that you were going to give him. If it was like a hot dog, that might be funny. Say, here's a glizzy for Cardi. Glizzy from Fall Guys. So silly. Yeah, next time. Yeah, listen, I don't think they want stuff from us. What do they want from us? They want us to gift subscriptions. That's what he wants and stuff like that. I don't think that they want like little trinkets and things from people. I know it's funny. Ron Harper Jr. was asked, what is his favorite Filipino dish? And he answered it. It's like chicken and rice, a certain way that my grandparents make it. But he really qualified it. And I think this is why, is because he doesn't want people sending him their chicken and rice. It's the same thing that happened when Spicy P became Spicy P. Everybody wanted to give him spicy food all of a sudden. So Pascal literally had to go into an interview and say, stop sending me spicy food. I actually do not like spicy food. I hate spicy food. And y'all keep sending me spicy food because you think I want spicy food. Well, this is the kind of thing where fans may be very giving and want to send things that people like. And it may be like annoying. I think that's why Ron Harper said, I love this Filipino dish, but all of you Filipino moms out there that want to make it for me, realize I won't eat it because the only one I eat is the one that my grandmother and my grandfather make. And that's the one I only want, because I could seriously see this. And, Filipino fans here, Filipino people, you know what I'm talking about. They asked the question like, oh, what's your favorite Filipino dish, Ron Harper Jr.? And then he's like, got to answer it, but he knows what they're going to do. So he said, but I want y'all to know the only people that I like to eat this from is from my grandparents, because they make the absolute best and none of it compares. So don't even try and send me any of it. That's what I'm saying. So it's like a balance and stuff like that. They want the love, the adoration, they high fives, the feeling like they're important and that they're your hero. That's your hero. You see them and that's your hero. That's the stuff they love. Then it's much more better than anything tangible and stuff like that. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Joseph Stark saying, boom goes the freak dynamite. Oh, what a night. Joseph Starks and Tom Duke at open practice, having fun meeting Big Four. Oh, what a night. Do, 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 do. Oh, what a night. Yes. And I love the shout out you guys sent me, like the little video shout out. I watched it and I was so happy and so invigorated by the energy from you, Joseph and Tom, and that little bit that you guys sent me. And I love seeing that. Oh, this is just exactly how I hoped last night was going to go, in all kinds of ways. Y'all meeting up, Scottie recognizing, y'all getting a picture together, everything perfect, execution flawless. Just like the Raptor season is going to go this year. Flawless execution, gentlemen. Flawless. All right, let's see. Logical saying, not going to lie, I'm not a big Rachel fan. I've seen videos where she's lying on her NBA votes to sound good on a segment. Well, I know she's controversial. She's up and down. To me, it's really surface level. I think she's very good as a broadcaster. She's good delivery. She's not bad to look at, and she's very like professional to me in some ways. I don't know. I've tried not to watch much ESPN, so I'm sure there's a lot of footage of her being like ESPN sewer kind of bullshit. But to me, I didn't like how she lost her job. I didn't think it was completely fair, and I'm just happy to hear that she's employed again in something that's important and good, like Showtime. Showtime's a different kind of place. It's not as much of an audience, but there is prestige in it because it's cable and stuff like that. Tom Duke saying he has respect for our boy Lex for sure. SB4 is a special, and he agreed with me that Lex knows how to be an example for the best fan. Awesome. He said that actually? Seriously? Dude, we're going to make this into something. I'm serious. This is going to be something. We're going to do something with this team that's going to go even bigger than this channel. I'm telling you, it may be having to do with the Spirit Squad at the arena and stuff that we're doing in the games, but this is going to get bigger and bigger, especially if Scottie's recognizing this. Who knows? They're talking about it, and they know there's an entity out there called the Raptorfreak Cult, and there's positive Raptor fans that will stand by them no matter what. This could be, we're like guardians, like the Knights Templar for the Holy Grail. That's the kind of stuff we can be, is that kind of person, protectors of the Raptors franchise, its players, and them winning and doing as best as they can. An Illuminati of sorts. That's right. We're Raptors positive Illuminati at this point. Let's do this, y'all. Secret society. So crazy. I mean, seriously, this is awesome. I really appreciate, Tom, you guys talking. You didn't have to talk about me. You could have just done your own thing. But I really, really appreciate you representing this channel and the Raptor Freak Cult and pushing us with Scottie and stuff like that. He will recognize that we're a real thing, especially if he goes to some of these other Canadian cities and we have other Raptor freaks in Edmonton or Montreal showing up and yelling Raptor Freak out. He'll be like, okay, maybe this is a little bigger than I thought and stuff like that. This will be fun. I don't know. Who knows what this could develop into? Like I said, a year ago when I started this, I had no idea we'd be at this point right here where we're at right now. A year later, this turning into something where Scottie is interacting with Tom like this, partly because of this channel. So, woo, yes. All right. All right, Cowboy saying, okay, going to work. I'll try to come back and watch later. I'll be there for Sunday show for sure. Thumbs up, Cowboy. Tomorrow's a preview for Edmonton, Utah, baby. I'm going to be doing the handicap for the game, telling you what to expect. I'm going to tell you a little Utah's bad, and we need to kick their ass, is what I'm going to say right now. Edmonton, look out. We're coming there tomorrow. They're traveling right now. We'll do the regular game day preview tomorrow. No Sunday report. It's a game day preview, baby, because we got a basketball game to watch tomorrow. And I know y'all are just excited and happy as I am saying this. That we get to watch them play tomorrow. Be like Tom. That's what I say. You say be like me. Be like you. Oh, no, be like Tom. Seriously, Tom is a great role model. Joseph starts saying, yes, Tom is great. He definitely impressed me. So great to be amongst amazing feats of nature who call themselves freaks. That's right. Sometimes I worry about this. Like the name freak is kind of like a lot of connotations, but this is the way I look at it. Sure, you can be a fan of a team. You could even be a fanatic, like Logical Raptors fanatic. But I'm at another level called the freak, because I'm a freak of nature, how much I want to ingest Raptors information and understand what's going on with the team I love so much. That is freakish, the behavior I have, that I would be so ready to drop everything and watch Scottie for 6 or 7 hours all of a sudden, play video games. That is a freakish nature. And we are all freaks about this team in a certain way. This is not sexual. This isn't Rick James kind of super freak kind of stuff. This is just being a freak on a level of fandom. Is what it is and stuff like that. I wondered about that, but I made this name up like in 1995. Like I said, this was my first email that I ever put on the internet. A Raptorsfreak at AOL.com was the first ever email I had. And so it's like, it just kind of hung around as like my email and my nickname in some ways. And now it's become a channel and I'm actually using it. You know, you couldn't be a Raptors freak and have a Raptors freak channel as a positive fan and not get skewered alive at different times in the Raptors history. You think I would try and do this in the expansion 90s? Well, the technology really wasn't there. YouTube really wasn't around and all this kind of stuff. Of course, I couldn't do it then. The Vince years may have been kind of fun to do it, but it still was too early with the technology. Well, then you get the Bosch years. That's a little tough and up and down. There's like probably a lot of cynics and negativity, very 50-50. And it could be that I just get shot down as being, why are you so positive about this team? We suck. You know, that kind of stuff. So it really is a timing thing with the technology and also where the team is. It's in a healthy place. Like if I did this channel during the Tampa year, what would that have been like? Oh my gosh, I would have had to be fighting all these negative ninnies in different places in different ways. So it really was calculated in a way. I saw the arrival of Scottie Barnes, and I was like, this is the time for me to go all out positive about this team because people in the fan nation are be ready to come out and stand with me and really believe it, because that's part of the problem. Raptor fans have always been kind of two-sided as far as like, well, I love the team and they're really good. And I think that I want them to do well, but I have to be grounded in reality and understand that there's only a realistic ceiling where they can get to. I always thought that they could go as high as they could. as far as they could. Every single year, I wanted them to win a championship, whether LeBron was standing in our way or not 10 years ago. So it's a weird thing. This is really the timing of how this happened, and now at this point and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, Joseph, right on, my buddy. Let's go. So happy you guys linked up. I'm a fun guy saying this channel and live stream reaction is so sick. Amazing, man. You built a family. See, fun guys in Mississauga. So whoever was asking about if there's any Mississauga people, that is a Mississauga person for you right there. I appreciate those words, fun guy. And this is really what we were trying to do. This is all encompassing, all inviting. Every single person in the world is allowed to be here as long as you absolutely love and have a positive vibe for the Raptors. That is the one common thing you have to have here. Because if you don't have it, if you're kind of wishy-washy, if you want to come in here and tell us how they're not going to win, well, you'll find out real quick. You'll find out real quick. I appreciate that, fun guy. And Cool Cat saying this stream is interactive, which makes it great for community. I love this format. I do too, Cool Cat. Like, I didn't think this was how it was going to be. I really was going to be a normal content maker. But you know what? Part of it is I'm a speed reader, and I'm also really good at speaking really fast and getting my ideas really quick on the fly. Like, I am not totally premeditating what I'm going to say. I'm really speaking off my ass and just going with whatever you guys go here. So you really do get a real reaction from me because it's not thought. It's like, I don't know what you guys are going to say. And then it's kind of like a cue, and then it allows for other things. And that is really interactive because you guys have a voice and you can get your opinions and your thoughts and your feelings about the team and different subjects also in here. And then you marry in the stuff about the political and the social consciousness stuff that's very much a huge part of the identity of the Raptors franchise on this channel. And we reflect that here as far as we don't mind getting into talking about politics, about the government, about the war, about different things that are going on around the world. And it really does make it a real thing for us to be. It's almost like a town hall in a way. Because we can, if there's some big event that happens politically or something that happens in the world, we have reacted to it here and talked about it. And in some ways, that is helpful and healing in those areas, besides all the Raptor stuff and stuff like that. Really, really interesting. Logical Raptors fanatic saying Mo is always on point. This is true. Mo is just like me. She's absolutely freaking out all the time, looking at everything, constantly working. In fact, Monique, we need to get you on the Yahoo site for the fantasy because it is a lot of intensive work. You cannot just do it all through Adriana. We're going to have you be able to access the website and do a lot of the stuff yourself. I know you'll enjoy it better. And Adriana's a little overwhelmed. She needs your help. So if you can check your emails and look and see the email from her, the invite to co-manage the team and accept it and come in there, it'll make you guys' lives so easier for the season. That you should be in there adjusting the lineup from day to day because you're the one who knows the players a lot better than she does and stuff like that. And she wants the help. She really does. She's really excited about doing this with you. But I was trying to show it to her last night, and she's a little overwhelmed. And you would understand all the numbers and the players and stuff like that to be able to help her. And so we need to get you access to Yahoo Fantasy Sports. You just got to figure out a way, even if you have to make a Yahoo account and it's a dummy account or something. We just got to figure out how to get you in there because there's no way you can do it without being in the site and do the stuff because you need to go look at the waiver wire. You need to look at the trade requests and understand what people are sending you and stuff and help her make the decisions and stuff like that. All right, Monique? All right, let's see. Joseph Stark saying, after Tom and I made the poster, I actually got you a few more subscribers because people loved our energy and they were curious why we just made a Raptor Freak poster. Awesome, Joseph. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, let's spread this. I mean, listen, we found this place. Why not share? This is part of the positivity. If there are more of us, more of our kind, people that really love the Raptors and are passionate about it, they just don't know about us. I mean, I don't know how to totally put this on blast or anything like that, or how to really find the absolute, really positive, diehard Raptor fans like we are. And I really appreciate that. Word of mouth does help. It really does. I do this too. Like I'll go to a game and I'll be sitting in the stands and I'll be very loud and there'll be people around me talking to me in the stands and they'll be like, wow, you really care about the Raptors. Like, yeah, you should check out my YouTube channel. And then all of a sudden, boom, I get somebody interested that way. So I really appreciate you letting people know, Joseph. last night and stuff like that. And I did see a couple new subscribers get added last night all of a sudden. Like, we're just about to get 450, and I'm really happy about that. And we keep going, and the 1,000 will come in the next year. I really do believe it. I think there's going to be like a whole dump of a bunch of them at some point, just because it's something we do on here, and everybody's going to really want to know about what's happening and stuff like that. So very, very awesome. I appreciate you guys doing that. Joseph, thank you so much. Leslie's saying it's great to have a Raptors family. It really is, and stuff like that. I've been in groups, Raptor fan groups on Facebook, and there's always that mix of toxic and negative in it. And it kind of ruins it sometimes. Like there were many years where I'd go onto a Raptors fan site on Facebook, and I'd write something positive about them, and there'd always be somebody who come in and like try and be a contrarian or like negative about what you say. Well, you're not really thinking about this realistically because OG's always hurt or something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you even a fan of this team? Why do you want to come and dismiss what I'm saying? It's positive. It's about building them up, them winning. It's like, why do you these realistic? I mean, I like the realistic, logical Raptors fanatic here, but there's realistic fans that are a little too realistic to the side where they are actually slamming the Raptors like ESPN would. And this is part of why I wanted in a community like this, Leslie, because I knew there were other people like me. They were just positive and wanted to love their team without all these negative ninnies jumping in and trying to say something as a retort or like, oh, I'm your devil's advocate. I'm going to bring you down to the ground with your high, crazy thinking, your purple Kool-Aid thinking that the Raptors are so good and stuff like that. Monique saying, officially prepared for the season with every game. I may do my game summary, but not every game. Monique, I know you're going to do it almost every game. I look forward to that's something after games that I really, really do look forward to is Monique does a write-up on Facebook about her thoughts and feelings about the game that just happened. And quite often there's stuff in it that is really, telling and informative. And I cheat and use some of her information from her write-up on here as far as part of the reference and knowledge base of stuff and observations from things. But I do try and always give Monique credit from when I say, well, Monique said this after the game, and I love that she said this, and I want to echo it and say it also here and stuff like that. So Joseph Stark saying, oh, and a very lovely lady Raptor Freak came and helped with the poster too. And no, she didn't give me her phone number. Joseph Stark, it sounds like you were just so close on a couple things, whether it was sticking around with Tom long enough to be there with Scottie at that moment, or this chance with the phone number. Well, listen, this is actually a really great way to meet somebody new. Is you share this kind of passion, stuff like that. Who knows? Everybody wants to have a little Raptor freak on their side as their partner and stuff like that if they're really diehard Raptors fans. So hey, listen, that was a great night all around. You lose, but you still win. Is what I'm telling you right now. But hey, there may have been something going on there. Who knows? But that's cool. I'm so happy that you guys linked up. I wasn't sure if that was going to happen. I knew that you guys had exchanged information, and I was really hoping that it would come through and it would happen that way, stuff like that. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. I'm just beaming about y'all. I'm like a proud dad in some ways about you guys today. Cool Cat saying, I like that OG and Scottie are friends, a good bond for the next generation, like Lowry and DeRozan, Pascal and Fred. This is what Scottie said again in the interview yesterday. This is fit so perfectly. Him being in Toronto, he really loves being a Raptor, guys. Like it's been a dream for him. It's like his NBA career is a dream to him right now. And you can just really tell he's passionate and loves the game so much that it's just all the right things are happening for him. And this season, he's coming in as a vet and he's understanding this. This is going to add a little bit more comfort and ease. And we may see his personality blossom even more this season, like it was last night. You see him come out and he's all about high-fiving everybody and just being so like out there. When you come in as a rookie, you have to be a little bit like, all right, I'm feeling my legs out, trying to figure out like how I am with the team. I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want to be too boisterous, but now maybe he's a little more comfortable in his role and his place on the team. We may see him be a lot more big sunshine in all kinds of different ways around the team in different places. I'm excited for that because we want him to be so happy that he wants to stay a Raptor for his whole entire career. And right now it sounds like, yeah, That's what it seems like, and it sounds like coming from him, that he loves his teammates, he loves his team, he loves being in the NBA, he loves playing games, he loves having his life be 100% basketball, whether it's on the court in the real NBA or it's on NBA 2K playing his game and stuff like that. Oh, so good, so good. These bonds are important for the team because they really make it like a band of brothers kind of thing. Like that bond between Lowry and DeRozan will never go away. They are so together no matter what, no matter whether they play together. Pascal and Fred is a really special friendship. And these friendships are all over the place on our team. We have a lot of pairs of friends right now. Lolita's saying, you guys always make my days. It's like having your friends home for a chat. I love it. Awesome. Lolita. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. We have really good representation of everybody. I mean, if we took the top 100 Raptor freaks that are here all the time and we're all in one big room, we would be people of all ages and all walks of life from all kinds of different like experiences. And I love that. I love that so much. That is truly representative of the city that we root for, Toronto. And I'm really embrace that about us. I really do. Fun guy saying, one day I may see Raptor Freak Group at a 905 or actual game in your section and be a surprise guest appearance. Listen, fun guy, I'm going to be at a 905 game this year because Greg has invited me to come to the 905 game on November the 11th, Remembrance Day, against the Westchester Knicks. He has a little table on the edge of the court. He's talking about a lot on his contest. You can win tickets to go to the game with Greg this season by helping him by subscribing to his channel, Jubstown Clink. And if you're already subscribed, you can enter it still and try and get these tickets. Well, he's asked me to come and because he wants to do content at the table during the game. And so there's going to be some sort of episode this year of the Jubstown Clink with him and I at the game at the 905. So maybe you could pencil in that date, November the 11th, and try and be there also. And you could be a part of it also. And we can be like, oh, fun guy's here too, and stuff like that. So just a heads up on that. Yeah, and you could be a surprise guest appearance on definitely on my content that I'll do out there. And I don't know, maybe we'll get Greg, guys. If you're frequent on Greg's channel too, then you can probably get on Clink's show too for that. So yeah, Barnes and Ananobi, such love, just the love. Can you feel the love tonight between OG and Scottie? Is very palatable. G saying, morning freaks. Did any bench players stand out to you guys? All right, let's see what these guys are answering G's question here and stuff like that. This is the stuff we kind of want to know. What were the positional battles like? What did Josh Jackson look like? Was DJ Wilson playing well? Was Wancho a good fit? What's this kind of stuff? Let's see. Tom Duke saying, thanks for sharing the Raptors. Now I just want to come to Toronto even more and sooner. Yes, Tom. Yes. You guys, any of you guys out west, Joseph, Shane, if you guys get to Toronto, listen, I'll help y'all out with whatever. You know, we can hang out. I'll go out to dinner with you guys. We'll go to a game and stuff like that. We'll make it worth your while if you can get over into this time zone and come to a Raptors game. We will make it worth your while. Trust me. All right. Salute to G. Tom saying, yes, CK was nailing threes in warm up. That's Coloco. Christian Coloco was nailing the threes in the warm up. Ooh, love hearing that. That's something that's just extra on top. It's like a Chris Boucher three. It's like a Christian Coloco three is going to be very similar. When he hits that, it may not look pretty at times, but when it goes in, ooh, it's going to look good. No for three. Where's my guy? I got my Coco Beware. This is kind of the symbol of Christian Coloco. Coloco Beware, Coco Beware. So yeah, that's if you see Coco behind me, that's what he symbolizes, Coloco. And then this guy is Andre. This is Andre the Giant with a belt. He never really had a belt, but this is Big Roy. This is the Big Four. This is Scottie Barnes. He's the biggest guy on the court, and he's the one who's going to bully people. And that's why I made him Andre, and he's got a belt because he won Rookie of the Year. So these are what they symbolize. And Brett's the Raptors team. And behind him, you see we got a matchup already set up with the referee in the middle, and that's Hillbilly Jim. Hillbilly Jim is going to represent the Utah Jazz this year. So that's the setup for next year. That's kind of like the preview for tomorrow. Toronto versus Utah, Brett versus Hillbilly Jim. I know, this is a little weird. But yeah, all right, let's keep going. Fun guy saying, damn, Tom, that's so sick. You lucky fucker. That it is awesome, and it was building. We talked about this with Scottie, so it was all set up. We talked to him about it on Sunday, and he came through, and it happened. So he remembered. He was thinking Tom Dookie all week. He's like, I got to see Tom Dookie when I get to Victoria, and I was like, I got to find Tom Dookie because he called him Tom Dookie a couple times. We thought it was funny and stuff like that. Tom Duke saying it was a break in the play, and I was just walking by, and the bench had a bunch of people behind him while I called out to him. His ears perked up, and he knew right away. It was so unreal. Yes, he knew you were gonna do it. We said you were, and then he was like, "Yeah, he's got to see his Twitch fam." It's so awesome, so awesome. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I have the rights to your pick. No, it's your pick, but I don't mind using it. I appreciate that. Tom's saying, I love watching Lex get going and was all in from the beginning, helping us on the daily sense. So many fantastic folks have congregated, and I know how special this is, and you all are. Awesome, Tom. I mean, you have been since the beginning. Like, there has been an evolution here. This channel has very much changed. I've gotten more comfortable. I've upgraded my internet. It was very fuzzy in the beginning. I'm going to get a microphone at some point this season. So there's always going to be constant upgrades here, and it should get more and more quality. And it may be also that I changed the format. I've been really kind of thinking about trying to make it within an hour and trying to really make it focus. But in some ways, I kind of like the rambling and the long, like 2 or 3 hour kind of live streams from time to time. I don't know. I'm fudging with it. And of course, you guys have a big input in it. It's what you guys enjoy, and what naturally comes to this is a part of it. I know some people see the times on my streams and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this whole thing. Well, watch it sped up and see how quick it goes by, or watch it passively. Somebody said in the comments last night that they listen to me while they're sleeping. And I'm not insulted by that, because I really do believe you can get information while you're sleeping. And that, this person may be actually getting all the things that I'm saying while they're asleep. So that was a new one. It's like, well, you listen to me when you're sleeping. That's amazing. All right, let's see. Fun guy saying meeting Pascal would be my sports highlight, but meeting Fred is crazy too, bro. You're lucky. Yeah, it was so out of the blue. It was like at midnight on a Sunday night, and I could have easily been in bed at home, inside already, but some reason I was sitting outside. It was late. Nobody was on the street, and he was filming a commercial in the barber shop on Kensington Avenue across the street from my house, and he was just taking a break, and he was standing with a handler. And like I said, it was dark, and he's not super tall. So it's like him pointing him out. Not everybody, there were other people around. They didn't know that Fred was over there. I saw him, and I knew it was him right away. And it was so awesome. It was like right before Kawhi came to Toronto. It was before the championship year. And I asked Fred, I said, Fred, have you met Kawhi yet? And he said, no, I haven't met him yet, and stuff like that. And I was a little worried after hearing that, but little did I know that wouldn't matter. That Kawhi was going to come in like gangbusters and make this season a dream season and do everything perfect that year and stuff. And Freddie, I told Fred, because he just signed a new contract with us at that time, the contract before the one he's on now. And I said, Fred, I'm so glad we re-signed you. I mean, I know that you're going to, just keep shooting. I know you're missing some time. He had been in a little bit of slump at the end of the year, going into that year. And I said, Fred, just keep shooting. We believe in you. True shooters just got to shoot. And I know they're going to start going in for you. We believe in you, and we love you. And Toronto's so happy you re-signed with us. And when I said that to Fred, he said, oh, man, thanks, bro. And he gave me a big hug. And I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, it really meant something to him, hearing that from a fan. Because, they have so much doubt, and they want to know whether people like them or not. And Fred was in those kind of positions where Kyle and Pascal have been over the years, DeMar, where people come down on them and they're so critical and stuff like that. Or why, even the way people are treating these extensions with Pascal and Fred that are coming up right now. A lot of them are saying, no, we shouldn't invest in them. That's disrespectful. These guys are Raptors badasses, and they need their money, and they need to stick around because they're a huge part of our culture. So when fans started complaining about Fred getting a big extension, like in the next couple of weeks, because it's probably going to happen. This is what they're saying, that it's all kind of figured out, and that we'll know when it's going to happen, is what Fred says. Well, it's probably going to happen, and there's going to be a certain percentage of the Raptors fan base that's going to grumble about it and kind of be like, why are we investing in him and all this kind of stuff? Fuck you. You don't understand why Fred's so important to this team? Man, all right, come on now. So see, if you meet these guys up close, that's what I'm saying. Give them some words of encouragement and let them know that you're not like some of these other negative fans that may be dumping on them or very super critical of them and their performances. It's like if you meet Pascal, fun guy, you just say, I believed in you all along, man. You've always been a badass. And I know that you can carry this team to another Larry O'Brien championship very soon and stuff like that. That's what I would say to Pascal today if I saw him. Monique saying, I'm happy to see Alvin Williams get his first Raptors today in the book. Yeah, I was really watching him. In some ways, I'm going to be watching Alvin for his professionalism and him leveling up because we talked so much about whether he's a good broadcaster or not. Well, this is another area of thing where we can look and see progress, and maybe he is a lot more cleaned up and like even better this year. That's what I'm saying. I want to see him succeed and kick some ass. And I thought he was really good on that Raptors yesterday. He was very loose, very happy, no verbal stumbles, very clear and crisp and everything. And just it's awesome. Album's awesome. I love him too, Monique. Gary Marsh is here. All right. I'm glad to see you made it this time, Gary. I've seen your comments in recent days. So happy to see that you're actually in the chat with us. I really appreciate it. Alexi, if someone asks me to show them Raptor Spirit, I will send them this link. That is such a huge compliment, Gary Marsh. I appreciate it. You are now officially, you were already a Raptor freak in the Raptorfreak Cult, and I'm so happy to have your presence here in the chat. And every day we do this, 9:30, and it's going to be really centered around the game schedule and who we're going into and up against stuff. You'll find that if you watch me on the game day before the game, this may be one of the best pre-shows you can find because I'm going to go over all the injuries real close on both sides. I'm going to talk about from my years of watching the NBA and stuff, the trends I'm seeing about the game as far as whether the teams have been losing or winning. And I'm going to go and do all this research and really give you guys a good handicap on what to expect for the game that night, whether the Raptors are going to be in good shape, what to see, whether we can get some weaknesses pointed out on the other team and exploit them, stuff like that. Also, I check the refs. And I really look at their stats for how they referee our games historically and talk about whether the referees are actually helpful or maybe they could hurt us and stuff like that. So look forward to my previews. And the first one's going to be tomorrow for the game in Edmonton. So I appreciate you being here, Gary, and welcome. I'm so happy to have new people coming in, and thank you. If you're going to direct people here, I appreciate it. That really does help me sharing and talking about my channel with people that are just as passionate as us and stuff like that. Tom's saying he didn't sit with me. He was on the bench during the fourth quarter. Okay, so he was you were right next to him. You were like walking by the bench and you just kind of talked to him that way. That was smart that you went and got to him. Made it easier for him than him like trying to figure it out and stuff like that. I'm sure he was already, I heard that when he came into the game, he made that big entrance, like they described it like a wrestler's entrance at a wrestling match. He like pointed to all four corners of the arena when he came in at some point, kind of like Steve Austin or The Rock would do. He'd get up on the post and they do their things. So I think he was trying to cover getting a point to you, even if he didn't discern where you were right away at the beginning, because we said you were in the corner. So he came out and he pointed to each corner of so maybe he was just trying to make sure that some sort of connection with you happened, even if he didn't find you and stuff like that. So that was interesting. Let's see. Tom Duke saying Oren Weisfeld was the only other celebrity I got to pick. An even better, longer conversation. Well, cool. You were talking to Orange Weisfeld. Wow. Yeah, he's really young. Like we have to understand this kid is under 25 or something. He's very young and he does such a good job. I like that he's on this already at this point in his young career, that he's gotten to this level already. I'm so impressed with him. And like I said, him and Samson are the two that I really enjoy hearing the questions to the Raptors. They do good questions and he does good content. And he's not somebody that'll sewer the Raptors for no reason. He really has really good, astute knowledge, and he's not like a pessimistic like Raptors content maker and stuff like that. Like once again, Michael Grange being a piece of shit, asking some crazy questions and stuff like that. They asked, I forgot what they asked Scottie that I was like, oh my gosh, this is another bullshit question that is just annoying. When they bring up these questions like, why do you think you guys are a playoff team? Or why do you think Pascal can be top 5 and stuff like that? It's like, I always hate when they come at them like that. It's like, well, why do you not think that? What the fuck is wrong with you? What is that kind of question? Like, are you asking me like, oh, you don't believe in us? What do you doubt us or something like that? Why the fuck do you ask that question that way? Why do you think you're a playoff team? Why do you think you're a championship contender? Well, I mean, I wouldn't be involved in sports or do what I do and have the DNA I am if I didn't believe or want that. I mean, what is that question? It's a stupid question. In some ways, it's like one of these ones where it's just like, and then like talking about like roles and stats and like losing time, like Fred the other day. Oh my gosh, so crazy. Well, cool. I don't know if Oren knows about this channel. He probably does. He maybe does. But we're big fans of you, Oren. So don't worry. There are other people that do your profession that we're not big fans of, but you are definitely on our good list. Big W's for Tom Duke from Isaac Campbell. Yes, I'm double down on that. Cool Cat saying, Masai said to believe in ourselves, and since that, my attitude has shifted from the nonsense. Our goal is to support our team. Yes, why not? This is what the part of the joy of being a fan of a team is. You want to like see them have success and really relish it and celebrate it when it happens. So it's like anything in life. You want to premeditate success. Raptor fans that are very negative about the team, sometimes it's just a state of their mindset that they have a negative mind frame in their regular life and that they can't see out of that cynic, like pessimistic view about anything in their life, like with their life right now. So why would they not apply it to the Raptors? Like, oh, you're pie in the sky. You're crazy people. You think that they're so good. They're not that good. Well, are you a fan? Why aren't you aiming higher? Why aren't you like really supporting them and stuff like that? It's really the crux of this whole channel right here is that all fan nations have different kinds of fans. They have negative fans that are like, maybe it's like a Leaf fan who's been just tormented and let down so many times over and over again. They're jaded and stuff like that. I don't see why we should have any jaded Raptor fans, really. We had jaded Raptor fans early, and it may have been hard at that time, but not at this point. There's so much success. There's no reason for us to be jaded in any kind of way. Tom Duke saying Canada doesn't need another team. Raptors for life. Tom, he doesn't like. Listen, it'd be tough. Like if BC got another NBA team, that would be really tough to yank some of the Raptor fandom out of some of the BC people because they really want to be a part of the Raptors fan base. And it may be that they put a team out there, and the Raptors come and play that team, and they have more fans than the team in BC. And stuff like that. So that is part of it. I think Montreal would be smart just because of the rivalry between Toronto and Montreal. And Montreal people would be very much like, this is ours now. And now we were very loyal to this and stuff like that. It could be part of the Quebec, Ontario thing. But that's why I think that's the next logical place is Montreal. And plus it's good for travel in different ways. And it would put them in the same division as Toronto for sure. And they really start a good Canadian rivalry because Toronto versus Montreal has always been a great hockey rivalry. So think about it in the NBA world. It can be really fun. And of course, we'll be the old kids on the block and they'll be the new kids on the block. And it will probably dominate them for the first few years that they're around. So stuff like that. W for Isaac Campbell. Yes, Isaac Campbell, another Twitch family member. Somebody that's in there with Scottie on the regular. Cool Cat saying, I saw Raptors jersey in Japan crowd when Warriors versus Wizards. I was smiling. We have fans everywhere. We really do. We really, really do. Well, of course, who knows? That may have been a Yuta Watanabe jersey there. Yeah, the stuff that's going on with the Warriors and the Wizards over there in Japan with these first preseason games, it's a lot of fun. And we are really starting to see the K-pop connections to the Warriors franchise. That Andrew Wiggins was on the starting lineup for the West All-Stars last year solely because of K-pop votes from people over there. And then we see Suba hanging out with Steph Curry. We see a fan come and give something to Klay Thompson in the press conference or something like that. There's very fun stuff happening there. And of course, Rui Hashimura is absolutely like getting mobbed like he's Elvis Presley over there right now. And I love the little part where the guy who's wearing the Kyle Kuzma pink sweater and Kyle came out to hug him about it and stuff like that. But they're all wearing masks still. It's very interesting that Japan is still very much in a pandemic mode as far as like being safe and stuff. And some people, they argue maybe we're doing this too quick. Some people are saying we're doing this too late. Like we should. I don't know where that balance is. And it's not for me to say. But I do hope that everybody who has vulnerabilities is staying safe still. And I wish that society would really think about y'all a little bit more because it is true. Some people have died because we've come out of the pandemic and they were in vulnerable like health condition, and then everything got opened up, and then they died because COVID got to them eventually. Stuff like it's sad. I don't like hearing that. Cool Cat saying, set up a link or post on Twitter, Instagram, so we can see the pics, and you will get a following. Okay, all right. I will have to figure out that exactly. Tom Duke saying Precious is a beast. That's what he saw on the front court at the court of the game. He saw that Precious was being in beast mode, and maybe that's part of the reason why he popped Christian in the nose by accident. Stuff like that. Precious is a badass. I'm so excited to see what kind of stuff he's going to be doing for us this year on the Raptors. Warm-up dunks were showtime from a few guys. Guess that's normal, but wow. Again, they are huge and talented human beings. I did see that 360 windmill that Scottie did in the warm-up. That is just absolutely, like, it looks effortless. Like, it doesn't even look like he's really trying that hard to do that dunk. That's why I think he could do the dunk contest and he'd win it. But he won't do the dunk contest. We asked him. We asked him this summer on Twitch. It's this guy, you should do the dunk contest. He said, "Nah, man, I'm not doing the dunk contest." So he won't do it. So don't expect Scottie Barnes to get involved in the dunk contest. Now, Precious, he could maybe possibly do it, and that would be very interesting. But Scottie's saying he doesn't want to do it, and I understand why. There's more room for embarrassing yourself than actually having something happen like what happened with Vince Carter. That you can go do these dunk contests, and some of these guys' careers have kind of been hurt by it. So I'm with Scottie. You shouldn't do it anyway. It's frivolous and stupid. I mean, you don't need this to build your legend. Everybody can see your dunks in the games and stuff like that. Now, for somebody like Precious, it could actually do a lot of good for his career if he came out and he just killed the dunk contest and just looked so nasty in it and stuff like that. So let's see. Yeah, the warm-up dunks must have been crazy. Okay, Greg's here. Good to see Greg and talking to Tom. Just saw your message. Amazing. Congrats. Good morning, all. Good morning, Greg. I appreciate you. I saw you some of your content in the last couple of days. I see you got that push to get 1,000 subscribers by giving away some seats at the 905 game, stuff like that. If you guys have not subscribed to Gubstown Clink, go subscribe. He's got a great contest going on to get to go to 905 game with him and sit at the table and be a part of his content. I think that's an amazing contest, Greg. And it's kind of inspired me to think about maybe there's something I should do, but who knows? I am so happy that Greg's here, and I'm excited about coming to the game with you in November. We'll figure that out. Tom saying, yeah, Greg, so great. And Fun Guy saying, oh my God, it's the great Gubstown Clink. That's right. Salute to Jubs. I'm a Fun Guy. You and Lex are by far my best getting high as hell and taking Raptors content channels. Fun Guy is like family with me on that. Oh my gosh. I try not to smoke before I do this channel, and I don't usually, but I do smoke right afterwards. And sometimes when I do the ones later in the day, like I did earlier this week for the draft, the fantasy draft, and also for the media day reactions, I had smoked already. So it's a little bit different. I can tell. Cool Cat saying, Raptors fans have a lot of us women and a strong presence on social media. In our Raptors fandom, we don't have gender wars. Exactly. There's some gatekeeping in other places that I'm talking about, especially in the States. Men down there, some reason, like white men feel like they're being attacked. It's just like people want equality. They want to all be treated fairly. And why does that make you feel attacked? Maybe there's something wrong with your mentality and how you're thinking. You're somebody like me that looks like me and stuff like that. I don't think that way. I think that everybody can be brought up and be on the same level and everybody's fine. That, stuff like that. But yeah, I appreciate this about this. Because even like with the Raptors fan base, it wasn't like this. Like it's partly is that like women being sports fans is not a big deal. Like men have gatekept this for like years and years and years, especially football and different things like that. So it's important to me to be inclusive and very, very, I love it. Like the Raptors fan base does have a high percentage of female identifying people in it, and that's amazing and that's badass. I love that. And it speaks to the character of the team and how the team is run, and the players are just cool dudes, and that's attractive to people that love like happy, vivacious people. Of course they're gonna love the Raptors. Logical saying that getting the nickname to Jack is an interesting mission. Coco No needs to be his nickname. Coco No. Put Coco No or Co No. Konono? Way down in Konono, Aruba, Bahamas. Come on, pretty mamas. I want to take you down to Konono. Twitter has a strong group of women on things. Oh yeah, yes. Raptors Twitter is very, very very female represented, and they are not taking no shit. They will fucking cut you down quick if you are not coming in there with a correct kind of statement in different ways and stuff like that. I love that about that. Those sheriffs on Twitter are badasses. I'll tell you right now. I follow a lot of them, and I really do enjoy them and stuff like that. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Oren Weisfeld was the only other celebrity that I got to meet. Had a cool conversation with him about Victoria. Cool Cat saying, no, I don't want another NBA team. I love the Raptors being Canada's team. Raptors all-star votes would be diluted, which is critical for our players to get their awards. She's thinking about that. Yeah, I guess that's true. That if we divided up the country a little bit, I don't know. I think it would have more rewards than detriments if we did have one more Canadian team. I think it would have more positive things about it in the long run than the detriments and stuff like that. Naco the Nachos here, a great Raptor freak. I think Montreal's getting a team in Canada first. Yeah, I think that's right too. I think they tried Vancouver, and there's things about Vancouver. Vancouver is such a do-it-yourself kind of sports city. Like you go do hiking on your own, go biking on your own, you go play the sports yourself. They kind of have that mentality around that city more than being spectators and wanting to go stuff. They have such a beautiful city and great areas around it to go be active yourself and do your own sports. Why do they want to go and sit and stuff? And that was a big problem. Not to mention the Vancouver thing had a problem because Seattle was so close. And a lot of Vancouver fans were still just Sonics fans, even though the Grizzlies were in their city and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Growing together is the mission. That's right. Growing together on the Raptors, growing together as YouTube content makers is very similar. Perry Consistence here. All right, awesome to see. Perry Consistent is TPO Consistent. Awesome. Good to see you, Perry. Perry is actually from a group that I admin on Facebook, a classic pro wrestling group. I run a trivia game there and all kinds of other fun stuff on there. We have our own Hall of Fame and different things. And this is kind of a meeting of two different worlds from my world. That Perry is a big wrestling fan and also a Knicks fan. But that's fine. I told him, it's like, listen, you know, we have fans from all different NBA teams come in here and interact with us. Sixers fan, Celtics fan, Suns fan, Magic fan, Nets fan. They all come in here at different times. So welcome, Perry. And I'm glad you showed up. And yeah, there's a name and a face and a voice to who's been running those trivia games for you guys in the Pro Wrestling Classics. Yeah, right here. Good stuff. It's let's see. Good stuff. It's different from the Knicks guys. Yeah. I was telling Perry, it's like, you know, I feel bad for their team because of James Dolan. James Dolan is single-handedly ruining the Knicks for decades now. And it's kind of like until something happens with that, I don't see. I mean, this year, all right. You guys have a couple of good things happening with Brunson showing up all of a sudden. We'll have to see how he does for you guys as a point guard. And I think that Julius Randle is somebody that needs to leave y'all's team. There's something about him and the fans, and there's like a couple of little toxic players on the team here and there. Now, I love RJ Barrett, obviously. He's a countryman from here up in Canada and stuff like that. And I really want to see him succeed. So in some ways, I really am rooting on you guys because you guys are kind of the underdog in the Atlantic Division. When you guys play the Celtics, the Sixers, the Nets, the Bucks, you know, any of these other Eastern teams that are up here with us, I want y'all to beat them. So go Knicks against the other Atlantic teams. Not us, though. But I'm really glad you made it, Perry. Awesome. Very cool to see. All right, see, Cool Cat saying, at Naco, actually, Montreal would be great to have a team. The French connection, too. Tons of talent in Montreal. G saying, yeah, this is a hotbed of like NBA talent coming up is in Montreal. You got Luguez Dort, you got Kem Birch, you got Chris Boucher, you got different French Canadian players coming through Montreal. Is a little bit of a hub. Toronto is very much the same too. There's a lot of good players coming from the Toronto area as well. And these two cities are kind of the two generating cities of basketball talent going into the NBA and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that would be it would make sense. And you, like I said, like think about this. The divide between the Maple Leafs nation and the Canadiens nation, Habs nation, is very strong. And that natural divide would kind of just happen in the NBA as far as if Montreal had a team all of a sudden and it was Montreal versus Toronto in the NBA. Oh, yeah. They would all go towards that Montreal team because they hate Toronto. They kind of, I know they love that we won a championship. It's for the whole country and that they were with us and stuff like that. But they would turn their backs on us very quickly if they had their own team to call and stuff like that. People in Quebec and Montreal and stuff like that. So let's see. Leslie is saying Montreal would be a great addition to the NBA. The kids out there are silently working hard to make it. It just makes sense. Like the NBA is about making money. Well, come on up to Canada because there's money to be made up here. And, that'll drive them to come up here and be in place like Montreal. I really think it's going to be Seattle that's going to get the first team back, that they need to reestablish the Sonics in Seattle again, and that Las Vegas is probably going to get a team also. That we've heard that LeBron James has designs of owning a team, a franchise after he retires in the city of Las Vegas. But Montreal is probably in that top 5, the short list of places that the NBA would like to maybe expand or have a team in. And Mexico City is another one, which is crazy. Let's see. Logical saying, grade school crush. Lex was in love. I was. That was like the heartbreak of my life in some ways. It was like the first time I was in love with someone. I was in the 4th grade. I'm like 7 years old. I pour my heart out, and then I get laughed at by her and her friend group, all the girls in my class. In front. It was humiliating. It absolutely scarred me for life. It made me never want to ask a girl out again because it was so bad. It was so bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you get the real stuff here. Tom Duke saying, I appreciated your advice and was thinking the same. Yeah, I feel he was happy making my day. Of course. I mean, it just would have been awkward. Like, Tom, when are you going to walk by the bench like you did in the 4th quarter last night and like, here's and it's like squeaking and like the other Raptors like, what is that? He's like, did he give him just like a squeaky hot dog or something? What was it? It would have been a little awkward. And the other thing was like, you were going to give him a Fred VanVleet jersey. That's Fred's jersey. You don't do that with players. They get weird. Like sometimes players get upset when you ask them too much in the interviews about their teammates. Like they really want to kind of talk about themselves and stuff like that. I know it's selfish and egotistical, but some players are like that. And it may be weird for him to get a Fred jersey instead of one of his own for Cardi. And so I thought that could have been a little bit of a pitfall also and stuff like that. So look, listen, you got the moment and everything worked out fine and stuff like that. That is badass and stuff like that. The only thing that maybe could have been even better is like getting him sign your jersey that you're wearing at that time. Did that happen? That's what I'm saying. Because I did see him signing a lot of stuff yesterday too, Scottie. So let's see. Monique saying Scottie wants to shoot like OG. He's a great role model for him to shoot like, because OG has a really established jump shot. Like he really has the mechanics like ingrained that it looks very duplicitous. Like every time he shoots it, it's the same form and the same kind of outcome. And that is really a good way for Scottie to look at it. He wants to have a very strict, same form for his shooting style. And OG's the epitome of that kind of thing. So it's a really good way to go. Leslie's saying Nando's hot sauce is pretty good. Thanks, Spicy P. Yeah, it's so ironic. It's Pascal hates spiciness on his food. He really does. He like hates spicy food, and he's called Spicy P. He's like, stop sending me spicy food. Stop sending me hot peppers. I don't need them. I don't want them, and stuff like that. He really is P Skills in his own mind. That's his nickname. He wants to be P Skills, but we gave him the Spicy P, and it's just not gone away. And it is what it is. I'll call him Spicy P, but I know that that's not his favorite nickname. His favorite nickname is P Skills, like his Instagram handle. So, all right, let's see. Scottie Barnes having his own Twitch army is great for all-star voting and also rebutting haters on social media. Yeah, I agree with this. Like Scottie's getting fans from other fan nations this way. He's also getting haters from other fan nations from doing his Twitch channel also. The fans will come in there and they'll be like, is that really Scottie Barnes? And they're like, they don't believe it's him. Like they just happen upon his Twitch stream all of a sudden. Is that really him? And then like, he's like, yo, it's like, yeah, it is really me. He'll actually say it to them. And then like, they'll be like, I'm a Lakers fan, but man, I love you so much, Scottie. And that's true. Like he could be generating like fans that are actually fans of other teams that are like, I like Scottie Barnes though as a player. And that could help him in all-star voting for sure. I think he's going to have highlights that start happening this year where people are going to be like, this dude is awesome. and I love him. And it'll be kind of similar to what happened with Vince. Not exactly as crazy athletic and flashy, but he will do some stuff this year that will get him a following just because of his highlights. And people are like, "Oh man, he's cool," and they want to be like follow him. So either that, or they're going to be turned off and hate him. And we talked about this phenomenon in the last couple of days, that the greatest players that have played in the NBA have had haters, and that Scottie having a certain percentage of haters around the league as fans is really indicative of him maybe possibly getting up to the levels of like LeBron and Kobe and different great players in the past. The greatest have haters, and he is naturally gaining haters just because they know he's so good and they wish he played on their team. And that is really kind of the factor of why people hated Michael Jordan, why people hated Kobe, why people have hated LeBron and stuff like that, is that they really on the down low really wish they played for them. And that this is kind of the same kind of hate that Scotty's getting right now. Like, sure, some of it's because, oh, you didn't pick Cade Cunningham for Rookie of the Year. It should have been Cade Cunningham. It should have been Evan Mobley. And that's Cleveland fan and Orlando fan and Detroit fan pissed off at Scotty. Well, that's what I'm saying. Haters means you're great. And I love that. So I think it's fantastic what's happening, Cool Cat. He's really smart. The Twitch thing really is going to be opening up a whole other kind of things for him. And I think it's going to be very beneficial for him. Cool Cat saying, whoa, Raptor Freaks got some pipes. That's the thing. I told y'all. One of the fun things about this channel is I do impressions. I studied improv, and I do kind of do stand-up. I've gotten up on stage and done this in front of people before and made a fool of myself. So I'm not afraid of doing stuff on here like singing and doing impressions. So if you write impression, and then you say equals and you write whatever you want. You can write like somebody wanted me to do Chev's laugh the other day, or you want me to do an impression of a celebrity or any kind of situation. I even do words. Like somebody will say, do a rock. And I'll get down on the floor of the stage and be a rock in the middle of the stage and stuff like. Somebody's asked me to do Slayer's singing Drake or something like that, or Bob Dylan singing Drake. And I did that. I did an impression of Bob Dylan singing a Drake song. It's like stupid stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys want to see impression or any song requests, I will sing a song. If you guys have a favorite song you want to hear, I will sing it. I don't mind doing it. Cool Cat saying, check out Chinny on NBA Today because she's a Raptors fan and she talks about us and she has her facts. Chinny, I think you brought them up the other day. I'm gonna have to check that out. Nameless saying, bro, this ain't Rick James or nothing sexual. Dude, that's why you're my favorite. Well, I got to think about all the connotations of the word Raptors freak. And maybe some people are thinking like, this is some sort of weird super groupie or some shit like that. Is this somebody waiting at the hotel for the Raptors? No. This is just somebody who's really, really into the Raptors and is just sponging up as much knowledge of what's going on with them at all times and stuff like that. Yeah. I listen, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just trying to talk, and yeah, I can be real funny. It just not even intentionally. Tom Duke saying, I feel like he has checked this channel out. Big Four knows you from Twitch, but it's more than that. It could be that way. It could be they might get entertained by this shit too. Like I think Rico watches me. I'm serious because I've hashtagged him so much. And like some of the stuff I say about Rico, I've heard him kind of echo it later and stuff like that. Like he was saying he fits like a glove. I've been saying that he fits like a glove for like weeks now. And he's saying it in his interview. Like, I don't know. Who knows? Like they may watch me and they'd be like, this guy's funny. Like he's really setting it straight. He does have some knowledge because he's dropping names like Olden Polynice and Rick Mahorn. And then like he's talking about like some of the stuff we want to say as coaches and players in this league, but we can't get away with. Like, fuck you, Michael Grange. And that was a fucking foul. Fuck the refs. They're fucking crooked and stuff like that. Some of it. And I'm sure if Rico saw my stream from yesterday and I started talking about how Rico's like, he doesn't give just lip service. He's not bullshitter. He's not fucking coming there to waste anybody's time. If he says he wants to make Pascal the best player he's going to be, or the Raptors the best team they're going to be, he fucking means it. And I love that because that is such an inertia of force inside the coaching staff that we didn't have last year. And I want to see what that adds to our wins and how well we're motivated and how good we're playing. Because Rico Hines is involved in that. He could watch this, and sure, it's a little bit of an ego stroke, but he's also like, damn, this dude gets it. And maybe this is entertaining. I might need to keep tabs on him over the season. So who knows? I think he has checked it out, obviously, because he yelled at me for using his clip. Is using his clip on my YouTube channel. He's like, "You're trying to make money off me?" I was like, "Listen, Scottie, there ain't no money being made here on my channel. This is all purely a passion project. And eventually, maybe I make a little bit of income from this channel, but I don't expect myself to be able to make a living off this channel. I mean, that would be ideal and fantastic, like other YouTubers have been able to do at some point. But I don't expect it. I'm very much a niche YouTube channel that doesn't want to go for like 1 million subscribers. I don't know. Maybe there are 1 million positive Raptor fans out there, but finding every single one of them and getting them all collected here, that may be a huge task. So I'll just take getting to 1,000 first. And then I don't even know if I care about getting any higher than that, because that's really is the one important threshold on YouTube, that then you can actually be a partner with them and do things like have your URL actually say youtube.com/raptorsfreak and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. Tom Duke saying, my interaction and my enthusiasm for the Raptors baffles me sometimes. That's largely your fault, Lex. I mean, you are obsessed, Tom. Like, seriously, I go everywhere. Like, I'm researching constantly to see every Raptor content that comes out. And I'll see Tom's already commented in the sections in a lot of places. I see all you guys in different places. I see Fun Guy in all these different little corners of Raptors fan base in different places. I see y'all's names and handles in different places that you've already been there. You've already been commenting, whether it's other YouTube channels, whether it's Raptors content that's getting posted in the comments. I see Sue, I see Monique, I see Cool Cat. I see all of you guys all over the place all the time. And it makes me proud. And it makes me realize this is why they're here with me, because they're just like me. They care so much. Tom, you are all over this stuff. I see your name everywhere and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's awesome. All right, let's see. Alster's predicting an undefeated preseason. I love that idea. Now, we've got to understand we're playing the Celtics twice in preseason. And these are going to be the big test games. These are the games I really give a shit about, is the 2 times we play the Celtics. We play them in Boston, and then we play them in Montreal. Those are the games I really want to get. Houston, we should beat. Utah, we should beat. Chicago, we should beat them too. But these 2 Boston games, yeah, we really got to fucking beat the Celtics. And especially right now where they're in a bad place and they're trying to figure things out. They got this new coach, Mazzulla. I don't know. We got to get them while we can get them and set this tone. We did the same thing with Philly last year. We played Philadelphia 2 games in preseason last year. We beat them in the first one, and then we lost them in the second preseason game. And then did you know that was going to be setting up the table for bookends for our season last year? 2 games against Philly and then playing them in the first round of the playoffs. Well, this could be a similar kind of thing. We got to play the Celtics 2 games in preseason, and they may be the first person we see in the playoffs next year at the end of the year. So that's what I'm saying. These 2 Boston games, we can get both of them, Alistair. I'll be so happy. I really want to beat Boston twice, in Boston and in Montreal. Yeah. Leslie saying, you have the best channel, informative and factual. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Leslie. I really do try to be as honest and truthful as I can. And I know that I'm not always completely accurate and right, but I will own up when I'm wrong. That's the thing. You don't want to be around somebody who's always saying, I'm always right, I'm the end all be all, because they're usually fucking wrong. And that's important to be allowing for error and stuff like that, because, then you have credibility. And if you are wrong, you'll admit it later and make the correction and fix it. And that's a big part of what I'm trying to do here. I don't want to be, I'm not so stubborn that I'm always right, that I'll fight and argue a point when I know that I'm actually wrong. And a lot of people will do that in today's world. And that's just stupid. Why would you do that? You're wrong. Why are you still arguing for your side? And that's a lot of stuff that's happening in politics right now. Tom Duke saying totally 100. Freak and freaking is now a big part of my vocabulary. Tom, you freaking Raptor freak, you. I love this. All right. I see there's a lot here. We will get to everything. Adriana is here and stuff like, Boston sports fans here. I want to talk to them. I love seeing a Boston fan in here. We don't get them too often other than Skater Dylan. All right. Okay. I really got to start catching up here and seeing what you guys are saying. Don't worry. I will read every single comment, guys. It's just what I do. All right, here we go. We're here. Tom saying, is Nick Nurse starting the load management process with his vets? saying their day-to-day makes it known he can rest them when he wants to. Yeah, that kind of smacks of this. I've seen Thad this summer, and he's fine. He's not hurt. There's no way Thad Young was not able to play yesterday. They really just saying, "Hey, you guys are vets. You don't need to do this." They're really here to see these guys and stuff like that. Otto, the same thing. He's like, "Do I really need to do this? I've been in this league for so long and stuff like that. And can I just sit this out?" It's like practice. We're just talking practice. And they're like, "Okay, Otto, sure, we'll just make up something. You did something in this, he may have actually really tweaked something, and it may be a true legit injury, and we know Kem's for real, that he's still not 100%, and why we even put him out there and risk things. But the Thad thing really smacks of like, I think they just wanted to give the vets the time off. It's not necessary for the dudes. Thad's in his 17th year in the NBA. What the fuck does he have to do out there last night? He's there. People see him. They don't. It's that kind of stuff. Let's see. G saying Gary was in great spirits during his interview. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Boston Sports is here. This is a Raptors channel. Yes. We have Blake Griffin now. All right, good to see you, Boston Sports. Yes, this is the Raptor Freak channel. You guys might have a Celtic Freak equivalent to me somewhere out there. I'm a very positive Raptor fan that believes the Raptors are going to get a lot of Larry O'Briens very soon. And I don't believe in what the U.S. media says down there because I know ESPN has an agenda against the Raptors. So we're cutting it real up here from what we see on the ground floor with the Raptors and what's really happening. And yeah, we saw that you guys got Blake Griffin. It's a pretty good pickup in some ways because you guys need experience and big down low. It's one thing I don't agree with what the Nets or the Heat have done this offseason. They've lost big guys. Well, meanwhile, Boston and Philly have been trying to accumulate more big guys. And that's smart because you're going to be playing against Vision 6'9" with Scottie Barnes running a point guard. And we may have all 6'9" players at times on our court. So you might need Blake Griffin. Now, the thing about Blake Griffin is this is not Clippers Blake Griffin jumping over cars and getting up in the air. This man is very much tied to the ground at this point. You cannot expect this man to do too much for you this year. In fact, last year for the Nets, he was very washed. And like I watched him, and like at times I'm like, what the fuck is Blake Griffin doing out there? He's like very slow, and he has expertise. He's probably a really good leader to have around on the team and stuff like that. But I don't think you should expect him to do a whole lot for you on the court. That he's really going to be like your 10th or 11th or 12th guy on your bench and just kind of break in case of emergency vet kind of guy. But if you think he's going to come in and make a difference for you, you go ahead and keep believing that, Boston. You might have been able to think about that with Gallinari, but now he's hurt. And you're not going to have him this season. So, we can talk about this. Alistair saying, Gary said it best. We're all better than last year. This is the thing. None of these guys stood on their ass or sat around this summer. They all improved themselves. And what is that? How do you distill the aggregate, the over accumulation of all these guys doing better and working hard like this? We're going to see the results. And they're going to be better than they were last year. I don't think Boston's going to be able to say that this year, that they're going to be better than they were last year. They're going to have a real hard time dealing with the fallout of this scandal and stuff like that. Cool Cat saying, I just realized Pascal and Scottie are the two that have the personality to interact with fans a lot and having lots of energy. Pairing of Pascal and Fred and Scottie and OG seems similar personality types. One is high energy, embracing the crowd and fans. One is quiet, laugh out loud, quiet and serious. Yeah, Freddie can get a little up and excited with the fans too. But you're right. He's a little bit more like grounded and like not so jubilant, stuff like that. And Pascal wasn't always this way. He's really grown into it. Well, Scotty's like this right away in his career. That's just who he is and stuff like that. I love that. I love that observation. It's pretty astute. Lolita's saying, DeMar says that Kyle Lowry was the one that called him to let him know that Westbrook was signed by the Lakers, that he was under the impression that him being a Laker was a done deal. I know that was very interesting when he said that. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, that the Lakers really fucked up when they didn't get DeMar that summer and they went and got Westbrook instead. Yeah, and it's interesting that it was Kyle that broke the news to him. That just shows how close they are as brothers and best friends from their years on the Raptors and stuff like that. And I love that. I love that. And if you're going to hear it from someone, at least you hear it from somebody who really cares about you and loves you. Because that was disappointing for DeMar. DeMar's had such disappointing things happen to him in his career at different times. Whether it's the LeBronto stuff with LeBron, that shit was annoying, sure. Getting traded from our team right before we win a championship, going to San Antonio, not getting on the Lakers, his hometown team that he really wanted to play for. He has wanted to play for them a long time, and then they fucking crush his dream. They don't let him have it, and they pay for it themselves. playoffs by having some shit show with Russell Westbrook trying to play with LeBron James, and it does not fit. And I will tell you right now, DeMar DeRozan had been on the Lakers the last 2 years instead of Russell Westbrook. It would have fit and it would have been way more smoother and better in Los Angeles. Well, that's just what the Lakers have to deal with, is that they made a bad mistake a couple summers ago and they didn't go the route of DeRozan. And that's their own damn fault. All right, Naco Nacho saying Lakers probably make the playoffs if DeMar signs, but only get to conference finals at best. Who knows? Who knows what he could have done? Maybe he's exactly what LeBron wanted to play alongside, with this weird wishy-washy, like, I'll take over. No, you're in charge. You carry things. It's like he does this shit to them. He's like, no, I don't want to be the man. We're relying on you, Anthony Davis, until you get hurt. And then we'll try and use Russell. And Russell can't do this. It's like, whoa, it's not jiving. Who's the leader? Who's going to take over and do this stuff? Nobody's saying do it. Then we're just going to fucking lose. This is basically how the Lakers have been the last 2 years. So I think DeMar would have filled in those holes of leadership and taken over the game when LeBron's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to do this right now. Okay, DeMar's doing it. He will do it because he's that steady and consistent in that kind of way. So it's interesting. All right, Boston's saying, I hope you guys are ready for October 5th. I love this. This is so soon. It's the 1st. This is going to be next week. We're going to see Boston. Yeah, I want to get both these games against the Celtics in the preseason. And they're ripe. They're ripe for the picking because they're in a weakened state. They're in a bad place. They're in a little bit of a confused state because of this fallout and things. They're not totally exactly like, they had to feel this out. They had such a good thing going with Udoka as their coach, and the vibe was strong between him and the players. That's gone now. And that's really unsettling and kind of not the best place to start your season from. But they had to do it, obviously. In fact, I've got an article open right now about this situation with Udoka on ESPN. They're saying that he made crude language towards the woman that he had the inappropriate relationship with. And if I'm reading into this more, this means that he came up to this woman, approached her, said something like, suck my dick. And then maybe she was like, oh, maybe I need to, because he said that and he's in charge. And then she had to go and suck his dick or something like that. I know that's crass and crude, but who knows? He said something crude to her. So who knows what he said? You should be on my dick or something like that. Maybe he said something like that. And then she was like, oh, and then she had to do it. I don't know what happened exactly, but I do know that they're saying he made crude remarks to her before the relationship started. And yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. And he's not going to be playing. He's not going to coach next year for y'all, Celtics fan. He's going to be fired at some point during the season. And he may be barred from coaching the NBA ever again because of this situation that's happened. This is just a little detail. There may be way more that's really bad about it. Like Matt Barnes is saying this is really bad. And him saying it means that it probably is really, really bad. So yeah, we'll be ready October 5th. We were ready at Rico Hines in August. So you bring it. You bring it. October 5th, Boston Celtics in your arena. We'll be showing up. Yeah, we'll be showing up, and we'll be having some stuff going on, just like when Scottie Barnes showed up in his first NBA win on the Boston Celtics floor in the second game of the season last year, where we took away that home debut for Ime Udoka in his win. No, the Raptors came in and routed y'all second game of the season last year. And yeah, we're going to come in and try and replicate that kind of energy. Yeah, see Big Four come through the lane, do a little baby hook Magic Johnson style on y'all like he did last year in the second game of the season. Ooh, I want to see more of that. Yeah, I want to see more baby hooks and more just killing y'all. Just killing the Celtics. Yeah, we're going to come in there and kill y'all on Wednesday in that preseason game, even though it's preseason. And we may be playing our bench guys. You may be seeing Juancho Hernan-Gomez and Josh Jackson and Justin Champagnie, but we're still going to beat your ass. Yeah, we still going to beat your ass. Oh, yeah. Blake Griffin still plays. Like Isaac Gamble saying, Blake Griffin still plays? Blake Griffin still plays? What? There's a really interesting stat out on Twitter today that more than half of the Lakers team last year is not even in the league right now. Like, if you look at the roster for the Lakers last year, a lot of these guys just didn't get picked up. Nobody wanted them. That's how bad the Lakers are. That a good percentage, I'd say like 60% of their team is out of a job currently and not on an NBA team right now. Isn't that very telling and interesting right there? Very telling. Duke Rocks is here. Good to see Duke Rocks as usual. Boston Raps are ready to contend for number one in the East. We're going for that. We don't play the NBA to not get number one and be NBA champions. Y'all need to understand this. We're a legit championship contender. We have been for like 10 years now. It's just y'all don't want to recognize it and give us that, because we are up there and we're going to be up there. You trust and understand this, that you want to be on top. Boston Celtics, well, maybe you were the incumbent and the team that was going to be up there, but you have shown weakness at this point with your head coach having a weakness for getting a little side. And that is really going to hurt your season this year. Yeah, that tight ship had a leak in it, and you're getting water coming on board now. And the Raptor ship ain't got no leaks at all, and it is smooth sailing right on by y'all in the Eastern Conference standings. Yes, sir. That's what's going to happen, baby. Woo. All right, Tom Duke saying, not sure how hard it is to do, but I think timestamps might get people hooked. They want juicy stuff. Just a thought. I've been thinking about this and toying with this. I'll do clips. Like I'll come and rewatch my stream. And when I see like a little 2-minute period where I really go off or say something really interesting, I'll clip it out and put it in like the shorts in the clip section. And mixed results with that. Like I said, once again, it's a work in progress. I'll technically get this channel more and more better and improve it over time. And I think that's a good suggestion, Tom, that we can do that. Oh, he's celebrating. I must have got a 450th subscriber. Awesome. Tom Duke. Yeah, I love it. All right, let's see. Boston saying last November we went 2-0 against you guys. The one game was 104 to 88. No, you guys did not go 2-0 against us. We played you guys on the second game of the season for us. It was your home opener, and we ruined and spoiled Emma Adoka's home coaching debut as the Boston Celtics coach. You have a selective memory if you don't remember that game where we kicked your ass right at the beginning of the season last year. Yeah. You're saying in November you guys beat us twice. Yeah, okay. So in October we beat you once. We were very equal with you guys during the season. I believe we won 2 of the games and you guys won 2 of the games out of the 4 and stuff like that. There's still unsettled stuff with y'all. You know, that bubble series was so close. We want another chance to right that and get up there and see. Hey, OG doesn't shoot to miss. You don't think OG, Fred, and Pascal want another chance to right that 7-game series against the Boston Celtics in Orlando in the bubble? Yeah, we do. And so we would love to get a series against y'all in the postseason and get some right for what happened there. Oh, yeah, that was one of the greatest series ever, and we lost. And people still look at that series as being one of the greatest series in the playoffs in the history of the NBA, because it's 7 games. There was so much good stuff in it. And it took 2 to tango. And y'all were a very good team. And the best team did win in that series that time. Well, we'd like to come and see which team's the best team at this point. Yeah, you come see us. You come see us. That's like, I'll do that to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and say, just bring it. Just bring it, is what I'm saying, Boston. Yeah, we get a little smack talk going. Yeah. All right, let's see. G saying, one of my biggest pet peeves is when fans talk about our players' contracts. I know. Like they're so worried about the money coming out of their pocket or something like that. These teams can pay these exorbitant salaries. What do you give a shit how much they're making and all this kind of stuff? In fact, our team, I'm so proud of our guys because we know we don't have loafers. These are earning their money. Anybody has a problem with Pascal Siakam making almost $35 million a year? Shut the fuck up. You haven't heard how hard he's working this week? That he's there like 2 or 3 hours earlier? That this man's putting in his whole life around being the best, absolute best player in the league. He wants to be top 5 is what he's saying. And that Rico Hines is saying he's addicted to greatness. And that means he's working harder than anybody else in the whole entire fucking league is Pascal Siakam. So I will pay him $35 million because I know it's money well spent on somebody who's actually gives a shit about playing well and showing up. There's a lot of guys that are making the same amount of money as Pascal, and they can't say the same damn thing. That they're there to show up and get better and better. No, they got the bag. They're good. They're fine. Hey, you know, they might even show up half the games because they're load managed and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's see. Duke Rocks is saying, don't think so, Boston. Raps took the first game. Yeah, I think we're misreading what Boston fans saying. They're saying that they won the 2 games that were in November. Now, one of those games, Ed Malloy helped you guys win that game. You had a crooked ref helping you guys win one of those games. Yeah, so we'll just say that. There was that crazy Boston game near the end of the season that we did beat y'all and stuff like that. All right, let's see. G is saying, some of them have zero concept of investing in our players, caps, etc. They act like only one player can eat at a time. Thankfully, we have a bunch of educated fans as well. Yeah, they worry that if we give this extension to Fred, like in the next 2 weeks on his contract, that we won't have money for Scottie or Precious in the long run. They don't understand how the cap expands, and that these Masai and Bobby are really looking at the numbers, and they have a 1-year plan, they have a 2-year plan, they have a 5-year plan, they have a 10-year plan. And they factor all that stuff in to figure out how they can make it all fit within how the salary cap may be projected to change over the years and stuff like that. None of these people fucking understand the NBA salary cap and salaries and stuff like that. They don't come from an educated place to be critical about how much we pay certain players this or that. Well, who the fuck are you to say that Fred VanVleet doesn't deserve that money? In fact, I would say he deserves the money just partly on some of the stuff he's already done for our team and stuff like that. I don't mind paying a player that's been on our team in good service because they finally get their payday because of stuff they've already done. Sure, maybe they're not going to be that kind because we know Fred and Pascal will not rest. They will continue to work as hard as possible, even if they get big money. So that's a thing you want. You don't want a guy who's like, oh, I made it, I got the big money, and now they fucking start loafing. No, you want guys that get the big money and they continue to work at the same level of intensity and pushing themselves and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Boston sports fans saying, what do you think about Celtics versus Raps October 5th and 14th preseason games? I love it. These are the 2 games I was just talking about that I care about the most in the preseason. Sure, Utah, they're rebuild. They want to go get Victor. Houston, whatever. That's a bunch of young kids. Who the fuck are they? Chicago is a good team, but I don't know. It'll be fun to see DeMar and have him back in Toronto. I'm going to that game. I'll be at the Scottie Bank Arena for our preseason game against Chicago. Now, the 2 Boston games, I just said, they're the ones I care about the most. They're the ones I really want to get. And I feel pretty good about us. Like I said, we have an advantage over every single NBA team in the league right now. We had Rico Hines runs for the month of August, and we ran our whole team there. They got so much good chemistry that they showed up to training camp this week, and they're advanced. They're not starting like a lot of other teams. You have a whole new coach trying to start shit in Boston. Meanwhile, we're building off of everything we did last year with the continuity of having 13 members of our roster returning this year. That we have a whole level of things that we learned from last year that we're building on top of. A lot of these other teams are having to do orientation and new stuff for new players and new things and like that. You got a new coach. So that's an advantage. That we were doing advanced shit this whole week and all our guys were healthy. Meanwhile, other teams are starting from the bottom or building from the very bottom. And so be ready for that, Boston, because we're a little advanced coming into this season ahead of everybody. And you should expect to see us come in primed up and ready. This isn't like we're trying to start up and crank up the engine. Our engine's been running for a month already. So expect our car to come in and just run right all over your parquet floor. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, I was a fan of Alvin Williams as a Raptors point guard. I'm glad to see him learning the broadcast side of business. Matt Devlin is a good mentor to him. Met at a game in Toronto. He felt the love. That's awesome. Yeah, Alvin's such an awesome dude. And I think you're right. He's going to get better and better. I'm really looking forward to it. And the 2 times I met Alvin, he's been so awesome, so sweet and awesome towards me. Peter saying at Duke, Boston was referring to November only, I think. Yeah, that's the thing I figured out there too, Peter. Just making it clear. We want to make things fair. And listen, we want to have them have a voice. Other fan nations want to come in here and interact with us and talk to us. We'll be fair and we'll talk to you guys, but you may not like what I'm going to say, is what I'm going to say. Yeah. Tom Duke saying, regardless, Peter, we're going to destroy Boston this season. I want to. I really do. Tom Duke saying, also remember Barnes' first game versus Boston was October 22nd. Raptors 115 to 83. What's your point, Boston? Yeah. Peter saying, yeah, obviously, who quotes a record for a particular month unless it's June? I know it's just that it's convenience. It's convenient to their narrative and what he wants to push is just that month against the Raptors and stuff like that. But the other 2 times we played them, we beat them. So let's see what else. Peter's saying, yeah, obviously, who quotes? Yeah, G saying Boston, no idea what to expect in preseason. We have a bunch of players fighting for spots, so maybe tryouts for them. Regular season will be different and intense. Yeah. Tom Duke saying, gonna get smoked this year, all year, not just by us. That's what he thinks about what's going to happen to Boston. I don't know. They've got that talented core. I mean, Tatum, Brown, Smart, those guys are good players. Grant Williams, Robert Williams, when he's healthy, that's another problem they got to start the season. Robert Williams is not going to be there for the first month or so, maybe 2 months of the season. And that will hurt them to start. That'll be very similar to what happened with us with Pascal last year. And Robert Williams isn't that kind of superstar and all important to them, but he is in some ways, like very important, best defensive player they got on their team. And, not having him at the beginning of the season, they may notice that, especially with the bringing in the new coach and making that transition. You want everything to be nice and easy as far as like helping him be successful right away. Well, not having your best big man is going to hurt the Celtics to start the season. It could be very similar to how we started our season last year as a 500 team. So Boston, you may expect to be a 500 team to start the season. You may think I'm crazy for saying that, but let's just see how your losses come, especially when you play us. Yeah, I don't think we play y'all for a long time in the season. We got these preseason games with you guys, and then we have 2 of our games against you at the very end of the season. So let's see where we're at the end of the season when we play you guys twice in the last week of the season in Boston. That's when we'll be coming there. Not until the end of the season. It's kind of sucks. I want to see them sooner. Scottie loves destroying Tatum. LeBron had an interview recently. He said, which team do you really love playing in against and beating down? He said Boston. He loves beating the Celtics. LeBron James does. And I know Scottie does too. Scottie's got a little bit of Magic Johnson in him. And he wants to punish you guys like Magic did back in the 80s. A little bit, yeah. David's saying, we're going to smoke everyone this season, preseason, regular season, postseason. Rico Hines runs, rinse, repeat, spin cycle. Pascal Siakam. Tom's really celebrating today. Tom's on a cloud 9. You got to meet Scottie Barnes. Cool Cat saying, I love when Pascal was curt to the media about his statement next goal to be top 5. He told them, I said what I said. There's nothing else to discuss. Loving this side of Pascal. I forgot to mention this yesterday, and this is a very important thing from the Rico Hines interview. He's saying that Pascal's gotten meaner, that he's a little bit meaner as a person right now. Maybe there is a little bit of that demon that like Scottie and Gary joke about, that we're demon mode. We're in demon mode. Well, you can ask Sixer fan about how they felt about Pascal Siakam during our playoff series with them last year. Maybe Pascal has an edge to him, a little bit of a meaner side that we're going to see more this year because he has more weight to throw around. And he's a more powerful offensive player that people can't fucking stop. Well, maybe he's going to be a little bit meaner, is what Rico's saying. He's a meaner person at this point. I like that. I like mean. Mean's good. Naco the Nacho saying, Boston going to take a while to figure it out. You're not starting as good as you finish. Robert Williams matters. Yes, echoing what I was saying. Yeah, Naco is exactly right. I know you said that way earlier than me, like almost an hour ago. But that's exactly right. Robert Williams is going to be a big void that's going to be hard to fill. Monique saying, just remember, this is my first ever game as a season seat holder. It was against Boston. That's awesome, Monique. I didn't know that. David saying, without Williams, they're a shell of themselves. They really don't have the same kind of defense. And listen, how the fuck are you going to deal with all our 6'9" players without Robert Williams? You're all short compared to us. You line up with us, Grant Williams, all them, Marcus Smart, they're all going to be short compared to like OG and Pascal and Scottie and Precious and stuff like that. So you go ahead and get confident, Celtics. Let's see. Isaac Campbell saying, Boston picking up washed up vets like the Lakers. How is that model working for them? We the future. Yes. Let's crack on them. They happened to find Raptors channel, and now they found out. They stepped in doo-doo. Yeah, doo-doo. Yeah, laughing at Boston is what Tom Duke's saying. I mean, seriously, I was ready to put a lot of respect on them. But when this whole scandal with their coach happened, I was like, yeah, this is bad for them. This is really going to screw them up. And you can see they're kind of like scrambling since then. So they're trying to get a coach from the Clippers right now to help them. That doesn't show that they're very confident in their coaching staff, that they're trying to go get an assistant from the Clippers right now. I'd be worried if I was a Celtic fan. Even the refs' pity for the Celtics won't help them this season. I know. That's the thing. These guys get help. They're going to get help again this year, and that inflates their record to a degree. Like the Celtics' record last year, we could probably look and see how many of these wins were contributed by people like Ed Malloy helping them and stuff like that. The Celtics get extra help from the league. So that just inflates them. We get a detriment. And that shows just how fucking badass we are because we have to overcome the opposite of what they get, the help and stuff like that. So let's see. Nameless is saying part of the reason why the Quebec Nordiques folded in the NHL is because players didn't want to go there and learn French. I don't think you'll see a team in Montreal. Well, that's kind of xenophobic. And maybe that was the case back in the day, but that doesn't even make any sense. There's so many French Canadian players in the NHL and stuff like that. I thought that they folded mainly because they were having a hard time like supporting two teams in that province. The Nordiques and the Canadians, it's just too much. Like, sure, it's French Canadian, Montreal is hockey, but they were kind of biting into each other. And the Habs being such a juggernaut in franchises in sports, like they kind of ate the smaller fish in their market. And that's really more what I saw it as. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know this. I don't know exactly, but if you have more insight than I do on this, you say, imagine ball players from the States now. No way they were staying. All right. I don't know. I don't know about that. That's an interesting topic. All right. Let's see. Boston is saying, I remember when Boston was away at Air Canada Center, it looked like a home game for us. Lots of Boston pride in Canada. All right. I'm going to be fair about this. There are a lot of Boston fans in Toronto. We have a lot of Laker fans. We have a lot of LeBron fans and stuff like that. But don't get it twisted. You didn't have that big of a contingency in our building. It did not look like a home game for you guys and stuff like that. You do have some Boston fans here. I will give you that. I'll be realistic. But yeah, don't get it twisted. It's not like that here. Trust me, it's not like that here. Somebody who goes to many games and has since the beginning of the franchise is not like that here. Maybe more so in the early expansion years, you had like a really like, but never ever like overwhelming presence in our building. You're crazy. You may see like some green jerseys, sure, but it's not as much as you think. Peter's saying, yeah, fair comment, but in Montreal, English is fairly common. Yeah, this may have been different back in the day, though, with the Nordiques at that time. Tom Duke's saying, you still here? Sorry, how things look for your front office? Tom Duke's doing what he does in Twitch, in Sky's Twitch. He's coming at the other fans and stuff like that. Monique saying, ESPN, Colin Udon had so much praise for Precious. That's awesome and good. More people need to recognize who our players are and how special they are and stuff like that. G saying, I remember the Toronto Dominion Garden Center that Boston plays every home game in. That's right. Remember, remind Boston fan, you play in an arena that is owned by a bank from Toronto. A Canadian bank owns your arena. The TD Bank means Toronto Dominion. It's in the name of your building. So we technically own your building. So don't even talk about how your fans are here. Because sure, there'll be some green jerseys, but there's not like anywhere near even 50%. I would say there's maybe 10%, maybe even 5% of the crowd is Boston stands at our home arena. There's very much Raptors fans in that building. Trust me. Let's see. That is funny. And Peter's saying, I also recall the TD Gardens fans booing the Celtics when they got crunched by the Raptors. That's right. I remember that did happen last year. We did that to a couple teams last year, whether it's Philadelphia in game 5 of the first round or a Boston game at the very beginning of the season last year where we spoiled Ime Udoka's home debut. And the Boston fans were booing their own team at the end of that game. Boston fans, y'all are garbage. You're racist. You're honestly a toxic culture, the Boston fans culture and stuff like that. And it's reflected in your head coach. Let's just put it that way. All right. Alistair saying Boston is still the team. Laugh out loud. The team was using Brad Stevens' playbook, so technically nothing has changed. I'm expecting a strong Celtics team that looking to get back to the finals. That's what Alistair's saying, and he's a Raptors fan. I don't know about that. Listen, some of it is the connection. Like Udoka is a student of Popovich, and that you kind of brought all that knowledge and things from him. There's like an inertia that was going in his career that's completely stalled and stopped because he's gone. And that Missoula guy, I have no confidence in him. It's not like he's going to walk in and instantly have clout with the referees or in different ways around the league. He's going to have to earn a whole bunch of stuff because he's just some nobody that's just all of a sudden thrust in this spot. So I don't know. And you may be right. They may be using mostly of what Brad Stevens is already doing, but why didn't he fucking just step down and like do the coaching job this year also? I think would have been the smartest idea is let Brad Stevens coach it. But for some reason, he doesn't want to coach the team anymore. I think that's because he doesn't really get along with the stars on the team and that he needed to make that change to survive in the franchise. Is that I don't think that Smart and Tatum and Brown like Brad Stevens. And that's why he had to go in the front office and be more in that area and stuff like that. Christian Canono is a keeper. Let's laugh out loud. All right. Good luck with that, Alistair. Yeah, Peter, I would go with that too. I don't think the Boston's going to try and get the finals. I don't think they're going to get anywhere close. In fact, I think they're going to be just above the play-in. They'll be like the 6th seed or something like that. Let's see. And they got Brogdon, keeping it real for both sides. Yeah, I don't like Brogdon. Doesn't scare me. I know we keep talking about their acquisitions. Gallinari's hurt. They just got Blake Griffin. He's washed. And Brogdon is a proven guy that we've handled over and over again. There's a reason why we beat the crap out of the Indiana Pacers every year the last couple years. And even when he was on Milwaukee and they were playing in big time playoff games, we handled Brogdon like he's nothing. Yeah, he doesn't scare me at all. I don't look at him as being a huge upgrade for them. He's somebody that we know we can handle and make not do anything for their team. Basically, it's proven over the years as we played Brogdon in important games. He's a non-factor when he plays against the Raptors style lineup. So I won't give you that, Alistair. I'm sorry. David's saying, "Good God, get a grip." I don't know why Alistair's doing Celtics stand. Maybe he feels bad for him. He's rooting for the underdog in this chat. So he's standing up with Boston fan. Alistair, we know you're a Raptor freak. What are you doing? Come on now. Monique saying 15 or more women in Raptors organization. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It reflects in all kinds of different places, whether it's here in the chat. We have a very equal gender equality here. And in the organization is very important to champion women being in positions of power in the Raptors franchise. And this is how you safeguard your franchise from being a dumpster fire on the down low inside toxic decay, like the Boston Celtics franchise is right now. Yeah, toxic decay. Because they didn't build their franchise with women in power and not settling for any kind of this sexual bullshit going on around in there. Well, now Boston pays for it and stuff like that. Peter's saying, yeah, because the defensive player of the year will get more minutes, right? Marcus Smart. I don't know, whatever. And I've heard that Jaylen Brown is also in great spirits. I've seen the clips of Jaylen Brown and Tatum playing each other in practice. They're going at each other. I still think that their relationship is kind of healthy competition, but not always healthy. I think that it really hurts Jaylen Brown to hear how easily he could go in a trade to Brooklyn for Kevin Durant all summer. I think it really hurts when the NBA media machine treats Jason Tatum as like a golden boy, like they treat Ben Simmons in this weird way. I'm like, they overpush these dudes, seriously. I think Tatum's just as good as Brown. Brown may be better. And I think it's so dumb that they don't give more of a shine to Brown. The Tatum gets all the spotlight and stuff like that. That has got to cause things for Jaylen Brown and down low and stuff like that. I can see so many ways they have dissension and in problems. We know that they haven't exactly always had the perfect relationship, Tatum and Brown. So stuff like that. Boston saying, I have your guys pretty high. Everybody in the East is chasing Celtics, of course, but after that, I have you guys 5th in the East. A lot of people are putting teams like the Hawks, Cavs, and Bulls ahead of you. Eastern Conference has a lot of good teams. I'll agree with this. I mean, seriously, I think you're right. And I appreciate you putting us in the top 5. There are a lot of people that are sliding us and insulting us right now, putting people like the Hawks and the Bulls and the Cavs above us. Fuck that shit. They're not proven in any kind of way. We were up there with you guys the whole second half of the season. The Boston had one of the best records in the second half of the season, and we were up near there. It wasn't like we were horrible and stuff like that. So I appreciate you giving us that at least. And obviously, you're a Celtics fan. You're going to put you guys at top. Well, I'm putting us at top. And maybe people think I'm delusional crazy, but I have proven statistics and evidence that kind of will lead you to that kind of prediction that we were hurt at the beginning of the year. We're not hurt this year. We know what we're doing. We're going to come into the season ground running and not have to make up for a 500 first half of the season in the second half of the year. So let's see how it all works out. And if we're up there near the top the whole year and on top of y'all, that's how it is. Stuff like that. All right. Yeah, I'll agree. There's a lot of good teams in the Eastern Conference right now. This is for sure. Peter's saying people can make whatever list they want. Where the Raptors are on the list to win the chip, likely not the top. In 2019, that they probably said that. I said that myself. I didn't think the Raptors were going to win in 2019, but I learned that I should probably just believe in them. that they can make things happen even if you don't think it could happen, stuff like that. Duke saying those talking head U.S. media have no clue who the Raptors are. We have been winning for a decade now. We'll give the Celtics a run for their money for first in the East. I have more belief in Milwaukee than Boston going into the season. Milwaukee is the team that scares me more. And if we're really talking about other teams, Philadelphia. I think it actually will be something like, all right, if Toronto's not number one, it'll be Milwaukee or Philly. And Boston, I'm serious. I don't even see you guys as a top 4 team in the East right now because of what's happened in this offseason with your coach. That I think that y'all will be like the 5th or the 6th seed in the East and when it's all said and done. And that we'll be up near the top with Milwaukee and Philly. I really do believe that. Name was saying, people, I promise you, Vancouver coming back is far more realistic than Montreal. Okay, forget Montreal not happening. All right, Nameless. Well, I don't know. We can put money on this maybe. Peter's agreeing with Nameless on Vancouver. Okay, we can go with that. David's saying, update resume. When was the last chip, y'all? Okay, he erased that, so that's kind of funny. David's really coming down on him. Go play golf, donkey. That's a very strange statement. Isaac Campbell saying, "Now we need a WNBA team before another Canadian NBA team. Let's go TO." I think that might be more likely. I think you're right, Isaac. Like they're supposed to announce that we're getting a WNBA team. Did they do that yet? They finished the playoffs. They should have said that already. Peter's saying last one was 2009, more than a decade before our last one. Yeah, you guys are arguing about when the last time people won and stuff like that. And then he's bringing up hockey. We don't give a shit about the Leafs here. Come on. Some of us do, but not everybody. We really don't give a shit about the Leafs here. I don't personally. So, all right. I can see there's a lot of Boston fan here. I might wrap up because we are going to get close to 3 hours soon and stuff like that. Can't argue Boston has been blessed with chips from overall sports. That's true. Yeah, I mean the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Bruins, of course. The Celtics are kind of the fourth team in that ranking as far as like success. Fuck Boston. Nice city though. I wouldn't even totally agree with that. Lex is gonna sacrifice you. Let's see. All right, Peter's saying we finished second. Celtics were 7th in the opening round matchup. That would be fun. Like if we're the 2nd seed and they end up in the play-in, they get that top play-in spot, and we play them in the first round. That'd be nice. Boston saying it's been a while, but we have 17 championships and 22 NBA finals. Really inspirational. It took me until I was like 12 to even count up to 17. Well, also you got to understand when you won most of those championships, there was not that many teams in the league, and Red Auerbach was cheating. And like they did a lot of different shady shit to get all those championships early. Like there were only like 12 teams in the league in some ways when y'all were winning them. So go ahead and brag about your stuff that happened like a lifetime ahead of all of us for the most part. I mean, the 80s stuff I remember. I do remember Bird years, and I was watching basketball then and stuff like that. So, all right, it's fine. I'm going to skip over the Boston fight and stuff like that. I don't even care about what he's saying. Yeah, I'm gonna Larry. I'll give respect to Larry Bird. I like Larry Bird. Johnny Alvarez is saying, "What stream do you guys watch the game tomorrow? We're gonna spank that tomorrow." Johnny, I could actually help you out with this in certain ways, but I don't know. Maybe I can get away with it because it's deep enough in my stream. There is a channel that I use. Where is it? Where's my link? Okay, Sports Surge. I'll just say that. Johnny, if you're still here, Sports Surge. Boston sports Larry Legend was MJ Kryptonite. He could never beat them. Well, that was kind of true in the 80s for a little bit. G saying Raptors are only 27-year-old franchise and won a chip among 30 teams, not when there was 10 teams. Celtics has a good history, but it's not relatable to today's NBA. It's much tougher now. Very true by G. And if we win our second championship in our 27th year, that's a pretty good average for winning and stuff like that. And I really do believe we're going to win this year. Let's see. All right. Yeah, we're going to just skip. You guys are fighting with Boston fan, and it's kind of, yeah, I can do the shorts, Nameless. I can do more shorts. I've done a few already. Eric Jacobs here. I haven't seen you in a bit, Eric Jacob. I miss you, man. This is one of our guys over in Africa. Eric, so good to see you. Agreed on the timestamps. Love that you have so much content, but many times when I don't have much time, I'd rather still get your content, but in chunks and hashtags. Okay, guys. You know what? This is great feedback, and I'll try and do this as well. Eric, man, so good to see you. I missed you, man. I missed you. I hope you've been doing really good. Cool Cat saying, imagine it took 7 games when Pascal had his COVID struggle. I know. If Pascal had been normal Pascal, that series might have been a lot different. It may have been a lot different, stuff like that. Boston Sports saying, you're a cool content creator. I love the passion you have for the Raptors. Respect, Boston Sports fan. Listen, this is the thing. Fans from different nations can be very toxic to each other. And I don't like that. I think that the world, we're dividing each other so much in different ways and stuff like that, that we have to understand that we all love the NBA and we love basketball. And that we have that common ground. That's the shared thing that we should look at. I mean, I know you guys are sniping and going back and forth. I don't really necessarily want to read all of that right now, but I really appreciate that you said this and stuff like that. And seriously, if you want intel on what we're doing here, Philadelphia fans been coming here and keeping an eye on us. So they have the inside scoop. This is really a good channel for that because listen, I watched Scottie Barnes' Twitch stream for like over 150 hours this summer, and I really know our rookie. I know a lot of inside stuff, and maybe I shouldn't be telling Boston fan our intel and our secret stuff, but this is just a channel. It's on YouTube. Anybody can watch it. So know that. And maybe this is a good reference for you to keep a tab on what the Raptors are doing so that you know when we're coming up on your schedule, what to expect, stuff like that. So I appreciate the compliment. See, this is all love here. It's like we love basketball, and that is a common place that we can all come to at a certain point. We just want to see good games. We don't want to see guys get hurt. We want to see good competitive games where our teams battle and have a lot of fun watching them, stuff like that. Cool Cat saying, I want Pascal and Freddie to be lifers on our squad from bench mob to starters to veteran. Exactly. I like that too. We are the North. We are the future. I love that. Nameless. That's very good. And then he's speaking in Italian, it looks like. Vengo dal futuro, figli di puttana. I don't know. Probably butchered that. That's a good one. All right, let's see. Fun guy saying, I've never in my life watched a Raptors home game against Celtics and see a Celtics jersey personally. You must be tripping, Boston sports fan. Never would Boston fans have the balls. No, they actually do show up and they do come. There are Boston fans that show up and wear Boston jerseys when the Celtics are here in town. I've seen them. I've worked in the arena in the past, and I saw it back in the day too. There is a lot of Boston fans in Toronto. There's a lot of Laker fans in Toronto too. That's just how it is. I appreciate you're not racist, but your city has a history of racism. Like you guys treated Bill Russell wasn't right. But I appreciate individual Boston fans that are not racist. But there is a bit of a reputation you guys have from history in different times. And you can go talk to former players. Go talk to Magic Johnson about how racist you guys are. Go talk to LeBron James like today. He will tell you. All right. Respect the Boston sports fan. Respect. Don't forget to subscribe and hear more about winning. Isaac Campbell, what a great advertisement. All right, Nameless saying the word is nullify, Lex. We nullify that Brogdon ass. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We put the OG clamps on him. He gets OG-itis. Like OG-itis is real easy. He's susceptible to OG-itis. That's what we said last year. There was many players that were suffering from an ailment called OG-itis. And when you get OG-itis, it means you get shut down. And then the next day you're like, what happened? And you're looking at your box score. Well, OG was guarding you. You got a little bit of that OG-itis that night. And some people get Barnes syndrome. Barnes syndrome's tough to deal with too, because it can be very much a lock kind of defensive presence also. Barnes syndrome. We've had different ailments we've talked about. Well, you have a precious malady. You could have had a precious malady where that precious malady came down and all of a sudden your score just can't score because it's locked by a precious Achua. So, look out for OG-itis, maybe Barnes syndrome, and a precious malady. A precious malady can be very, very severe and tough. It was affecting Joel Embiid at times during the playoffs last year, the precious malady. All right. Duke saying Montreal is as bilingual as it comes. Quebec City isn't. Okay, that may be why they left. That makes more sense. Cool Cat saying, which East team does fans have a rivalry with the Raptors? Boston, Philly, Miami? I would say right now it really is Philly. Philly, just because we just played them in the playoffs, and there's a lot of animosity still. Obviously, Philly fans still mad at Jack Armstrong that came in here coming for his head the other day, and they don't like Pascal because of him hitting Joel Embiid with an elbow and fracturing his eyeball socket. But Boston fan is up there. I would say that it's Philly. If I had to really rank the teams that are at odds as far as things, I'd say Philly and us, and Boston and Brooklyn are very close, second and third. And those can flip depending on what the situation is, stuff like that. And in fact, we may have more animosity towards the Celtics because we have some get back we want to get against them. And we've had a lot of fun with the Nets recently. We've kind of been beating them down on the down low in different ways. So, and the Miami, yeah, it could be somewhere in there and stuff like that. But it's really our Atlantic Division foes that I look at. Like I said, I would hate New York more if they were more of a powerhouse. But it's really Philly's number one, enemy number one, and Boston maybe number two, and Brooklyn's number three. It's kind of how I look at it. Let's see what Boston fans saying. I feel lately Sixers and Raptors rivalry is ramped up. Yeah, he's echoing exactly what I was saying just now. That it really was ugly, that series. Like Scottie Barnes getting stepped on, Joel Embiid, all the ugliness from him. It was a lot. There was a lot in it. It was a very physical series. And Philly fans, there was victories for us at times, and obviously they won the series. They had Embiid hit that big three here in Toronto in that one game, and then we went to their building and we absolutely humiliated them in Game 5 in their home crowd, where they actually left and booed their own team and left the game early. That was the night that Nav Bhatia was the mayor of Philadelphia, because he was like, "Go on, leave." He was telling everybody to leave in their own arena. It was hilarious. Let's see. All right, I want to catch up on this. Let's see. Duke Rocks is saying, I have to say Philly first, then Boston. Yeah. You're all kind of saying the same thing. As Boston by far is our biggest rivalry, especially since the bubble. Beating Boston twice last year felt like winning a championship. Well, we'll get back with them. We want to play them in the playoffs and stuff like that. It's just that it's been a couple of years since the bubble. That was a really hot rivalry after that. And there were a lot of Boston fans, not as much, but Raptor fans really hate Boston since that bubble series and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. I know Boston fans are annoyed with us and they don't like playing us and something like that. Oh, congratulations on 3 hours. Thanks, Monique. I'm going to keep going, I guess. I'll finish up the comments and we'll wrap up. But really, this is a Share the Love Club for y'all. I love y'all so much. Raptorfreak Cult Unite, just like Tom Duke and Joseph Starks did out in Victoria yesterday for the open practice and the charity scrimmage. This is a share love for y'all. My love and appreciation for the Raptor freaks, the real positive Raptor fans out there that are believing in Larry O'Brien's coming to Toronto and us getting more championships. Yeah, I love it. Boston Sports is saying, that's why I retracted some of the messages. Don't want to make the comments so messy. Appreciate that. Seriously, that's very conscientious of you. And this has been an issue at times and stuff like that. I appreciate that. I really do. It's all good fun and all that kind of stuff. And then Peter, this is two brothers. Peter says at Boston fans, it's all good fun and hearted. Welcome. And then David turns on, no, it's not. Fuck you. These are brothers. These are Peter and David. I love you guys. You're so awesome. And Peter's like, it's so nice to have you here. And then David's like, no, fuck you. Get out. Love. It's all love, baby. I love this. It's so funny. Putana, laughing my ass off. You threw some Greek foul language in the impersonation. Listen, this is not for kids. I marked that box. There is cussing on here. And Greg, man, dropping all the F-bombs on your latest video on the Clink, man. Whoa, I hope I'm not influencing you to do that. This is live. I'll drop F-bombs here. But Greg, don't do it on your content. You can be family friendly. I'm just not that. I can't do it. I have no filter from my cussing. In fact, I cussed in front of my niece and nephew when I was in Atlanta recently. My brother got really mad at me. And I said, I live that no-child life. I just cuss when I talk. And when I cussed in front of his son, and he was very mad at me, and I had to apologize to Harry and my brother for cussing in front of them. I did the right thing as a good role model to him and showing when I was wrong, I owned up to it and stuff like that. So, yeah, name is definitely Italian. Good job, Lex. But you probably should stick to French. I think I should just stick to English. I have a hard enough time with just English. Oh, this is good stuff. All right, let's see. David's saying, good. Embiid's face should get broken more often. See, David is really the mean brother right now. And Peter is like all love and cheer. Joel deserved every piece of pain. Okay, he's not in love here either. He's on the other side that Pascal inflicted. That guy can't even pronounce his own first name. Joel, Joel. I don't know. Anyway, they say it's because he's French. I say it's because he's a moron. Whoa, David is really venomous today. He's very venomous. If he's a Gila monster, he just caps your leg a little bit. You're dead. You're falling on the ground. There's some venom in him. Oh yeah. Tom Duke saying it's all over if you get OGitis, Barnes syndrome, or a precious malady. That's right. Let's go. Those are our locks. These are guys that will lock you down and give you some maladies. Yeah, when you're on your offensive end. So let's see. Tom saying putana is my new word, learning and winning. So I'm teaching cuss words in other languages now. This is what this has become. Scottie's teaching algebra on his Twitch. I'm teaching cuss words in other languages and stuff like that. Boston sports fans saying, I think Scottie will be a 20-point scorer this year. I like that too. I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, he was around 15 last year, but he should see an increase in him actually getting plays called for him. Because last year, they didn't even call any plays for him. He's just finding it in the rhythm and the flow of the game, his offense. But they could actually start like directing the ball to him on like purpose and like saying, Scottie, we want you to go low post and stuff like that. That may be a really interesting development with him and his scoring stuff. But once again, I don't know if Boston fan knows this, but he's our new starting point guard. He's going to be playing point guard for us this year. We're going to have a 6'9" point guard, and Freddie's going to switch to shooting guard. He's going to be playing off the ball. So be ready for Scottie to increase his assists. In fact, I expect him to get close to 10 assists a game. And his rebounds will be very similar also. He's going to be our point guard this year, Boston. So there's your warning. Let's see. You guys are laughing. Diane Hart's here. I haven't seen Diane in a bit. Good to see you, Diane. Good afternoon, Alexi and crew. Can't wait to see the Raps play this season. Oh, Diane, so good to see you. I've missed you also. It's so good to see like older names that I haven't seen in a bit, like Eric Jacob and Diane Hart show up. And I know you guys are watching me at other times and stuff like that, and you're regulars and stuff like that. But it's always good to see when you make the stream also, you can interact with us. Scottie is going to be an all-star. I agree. Tom Duke is just crazy. Putana, Big Money is an all-star. Raps top 3, Big 4. Cool Cat saying, I still don't want Scottie to get plays called. I want him to be like Pascal, get the ball and go to the bucket. His development will be better that way. I think it'll be a balance. I think he'll ease into it. I think we'll give him a little percentage. Last year, we didn't give him any. And this is what he did. He just got 15-point score just by cleaning up the trash. Well, this year, we just give him a little bit and to start developing it. It may not be a whole lot, Cool Cat. It could be that I like what you're saying, too. I think he should ease into it and let it happen. And Pascal's still going to be the man. But if it becomes this double-barrel point-forward system where we have Pascal and Scottie being the primary ball handlers bringing it up, but then also they're kind of both offensively good enough to take over the game in clutch time, and it may be that Pascal may not have a good game, and we need Scottie to step up and be the man and carry us home on his backs in the crunch time, scoring the points late in the game and stuff like that. That could be very useful to have that, not only that double barrel point forward system, but that double barrel clutch superstar that can take over the game at the end of the game to carry water when it's toughest. And I think this Scottie can develop into this, but we don't want to rush him and let him develop at his own pace as a young player in the NBA and stuff like that. Let's see. Boston Sports saying, wow, really? Scottie's playing point guard? I know that, man. That's freakish. Yeah. Like all summer on his Twitch, I've been in there every single moment. Scottie's been on Twitch playing video games all summer. And this is part of how crazy I am about the Raptors. I've dropped everything and gone and watched him. And every time somebody in his Twitch says, you're one of the best power forwards in the league, Scottie, he corrects them. Says, no, I'm not a point guard. I play point guard. He said, no, I'm not a power forward. I'm a point guard. I play point guard. And that's why this has been happening in the media day this week, is that like Nick's heard he's saying he's a point guard. He's laughing. He's giddy about it. He's like, I love the idea of having a 6'9" point guard that can look over everybody. He is really much got some Magic Johnson in him. It's like with the no-look passes and stuff like that. He's very super unselfish. So they're going to use this as a strength, and this is where he's going to be playing this year. And that's part of why Fred's role is going to be changing. He's not going to be carrying the ball up the court very much. He's going to be really kind of like Gary and waiting to catch and shoot and stuff like that. So it's going to be awesome. David's saying, have a good day, Raptor Freaks. Welcome to the channel, Boston. See you all tomorrow. All right, David, we'll see you tomorrow for the preview. Raptors versus Utah Jazz, Edmonton. and I'll have all the information, handicap in the game, all the up-to-date injuries. We'll find out how injured Thad and Otto are for tomorrow. And I'll have the referees even. I'll tell you how the refs are for us before the game and stuff like that. So 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, previewing the first preseason game. I know we're so happy. I know Boston fan feels the same way about getting back to the season and just the joy the NBA brings us and stuff like that. Let's see. Cool Cat saying we don't call plays for Pascal either. So Scottie and Pascal should be given the ball and give us a bucket. Well, Pascal in a way does, because like it's really kind of like, all right, he brings the ball up and then he kind of tries to find the seam to get into towards the basket. And he's kind of got the green light for that. Scottie doesn't totally do that. Like he's more apt to pass it around. He'll bring it up and he'll at least give a pass around. But Pascal will bring it up and he won't even pass it to anybody. He'll break somebody on isolation and just try and score on himself. That's what I'm saying. I want to see more of what Scottie's doing from Pascal also. But he does kind of call his own number all the time. And like Doc Rivers was telling James Harden, this isn't a democracy. Let Pascal be the dictator and dominate the ball. But let's see if Scottie can get a percentage of that also at this point, stuff like that. We're spelling point guard wrong. Isaac wants to correct you guys. It's not point guard. It's point god. Hilarious. All right. Happy October, Monique. I know you are just on cloud nine and so happy. What a great event yesterday. I mean, the stuff that I'm hearing about what happened and stuff like that in Victoria is just badass and awesome. I love it so much. All right. Let me finish up before I get to 3 hours and stuff like that. Thanks for watching me today. This really is a stream for me to show love and appreciation to you guys in this cult that we have built, this crazy delusional cult that the Raptors are just the best team in the league and we're always going to win no matter what. I believe it. I truly believe it in my heart. And sure, maybe Boston fan thinks I'm crazy because he's coming from his perspective and his team. But we need this entity in our fan nation because there's always toxicity in fan nations. There's people that are negative about their own team. And I don't even understand that. Why would you want to even spend the time being involved in it if you're just going to be negative and poo-pooing it all the time? So this is why we're here. And I love and respect all of you for being here on this ride with me all year. And these crazy long-ass streams. We're almost 3 hours in and stuff like that. And it takes a lot. You've been grinding all summer. And we're going to see it pay off at some point. Just like this team has been grinding all summer. We're going to see it pay off for them. All right. I appreciate you guys. October is here. October's very own Mr. Drake, Mr. Drizzy, and all that kind of stuff. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Even if you're a fan of another nation, this is a fun channel for just basketball stuff. I will go off on the Lakers, and sure, Celtics fan will enjoy it. I will go off on the Celtics, and Sixers fan will enjoy it. There's common ground we can all find sometimes in hate. But let's just share the love and appreciation for the sport and the league, the NBA and stuff like that. All right, guys, thanks again. And let's wrap it up here. Let's go Raptorfreak Cult, baby. Woo, Tom Duke and Joseph Starks. Yeah, you guys